right, I think we're live. D-Batch. You can say hit the button now. Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? It's Dealer here, back again with yet another RDX podcast. We've waited all week to talk to you guys, and we're so happy that it's Tuesday. First and foremost, I want to thank all of you for showing up. Check out the new overlay. Thanks to Sean Labrie. I think I was supposed to get a hold of him, or maybe I did. I don't remember, but we're going to do some more stuff to this. And I want to explain first and foremost, feedback, welcome on this thing. But we do have the names of all the patrons, every single one of you, scrolling across the top, and Twitter information for the people on the panel, of course. And I think it looks awesome. Enjoy the footage. And next week, we're going to have some really good footage. But I want to get to some introductions. I want to get to some shout-outs. We got amazing topics today. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit that like button if you're coming in. We'll start out with some really good topics today. And really, first and foremost, I want to introduce the guy that weird little creepy bunny stock. Cold Eastwood, how have you been, sir?
What? Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, really good. I got a brand new TV, so I would like to run it through its paces. Full gamut, 10-bit HDR. I can't wait to try. I've only tried like 3 games, so there's more to come.
What'd you get?
I got the new Zenith 17-inch cathode ray tube, which comes with the AV,
7-inch bezels, bitch.
Yep.
He's got the
video.
TCL 6 series, right? Really good HDR TV for the money, especially. So that's really good, man. And you're already noticing a big difference. Even though your last TV you bought said HDR on the box, that's that one shit we were talking about you don't want to go for. This is legit stuff, man.
I know. I knew that going in, but 2 years ago it was a steal, but things have changed.
Yeah.
It's time to step it up.
Definitely. Hey, we also got Sir D. Batchimus. How have you been, sir?
I've been good, man. And when I'm not chasing around my little guy in the house, but yeah, it's been a little hectic. But we got some great topics today. We're gonna be feeding some crow. I'm excited. Let's get on with it.
Chat's like overlay looks great. Again, feedback always welcome. Shout out to A Squad. Shout out to A Lopez. Yeah. We've also got Ron B, Jason B, Dark Reaper 31, simply known as R in brackets. Jeff Zanny, J Dub. What's going on with your Z emoji there? So shady and more. What's going on?
Dealer, I gotta say the overlay, it looks fantastic. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, if only there weren't like a bunch of assholes blocking Marcus there. But the way I have it set up is I can actually. I haven't even talked to Sean about this again. Shout out to Sean Labrie for this. One of the best. But I can have Marcus swapped out for characters that maybe let's say Microsoft come out with a new IP or something really cool, or maybe there's a new game. Maybe I can have him whip me up something different, give him some money, and have me whip me up a new lead character there in front, or switch Master Chief or whatever. It's all kinds of stuff. So, again, better than what we were rocking. Hey, Fonzarelli, man, thanks for coming back this week, bro. You're back from your vasectomy. How you been?
I think that's like the 7th one now, but it took.
You need to come up with a new excuse, bro.
Yeah, it took this time, so I promise that won't happen again. Nah, it's just been work. Work's been hectic, but the overlay looks great. And I'm thinking, you want another Xbox character in there, maybe Super Lucky Tail or something. That would look great right in the front. But you know what? You've got one of the best games ever playing on that.
yeah, man. I just decided get some Arkham City up there. That's a 96 meta you're looking at right now on the PS3. So. I mean, and this is obviously the remaster on Xbox One X, but yeah, it looks great. Thanks again, Fonz.
It's the GOAT of superhero games, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think even to this day, it's great. We also got Rand Althor joining us today. It's such an honor to have you and Cold Eastwood on the same panel, Rand.
Oh my God. This is the first time it's ever happened. But I'm enthralled by this gameplay. I think you're the first podcast to ever have gameplay.
Don't go there.
It's the first, perhaps.
Oh, shit.
What is this? This is Batman Arkham City, right?
Is that a serious question?
Yes, it's City.
We should quiz Zucker since he hasn't beat all the Batman games. But
all right.
This is the first.
Coming at me? I beat City, bitch.
This is not the first podcast to have gameplay. I just want to say that.
I don't know if that's a glitch or if that's intentional, but we're going to move the fuck on. Hey, xCloud 10 Dog brother, how have you been, sir?
Good. Happy to be here. Rand's here. Great panel. Love to see this show doing great. Last week, I think we hit 20,000 views overall. So it's really nice to see that, the growth, and seeing everyone just keep on going. It's going to be a nice week to talk about some things, and we're going to really ratchet it up. XO is coming in a couple of weeks too, so this is a nice time.
Yeah, XO is close, and man, it could be pretty big. Zalker 87, have you been?
I've been good, man. I can't wait for Friday where I pay $60 for an inferior product. It's gonna be so great, dude. I'm gonna have so much
What are you getting? You're getting Outer Worlds on PS4, or what do you mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 100%. Why use Game Pass? It's just like $1. It makes it worse for me. I need 60, and it's better.
I get it. Zalker's all about that premium experience.
I am about that premium. I feel like my money's gonna be well spent, and I'm gonna support whoever, an Xbox studio. But I just
Game Pass fodder. I mean, come on.
I don't get it. But in truthful, I'm just joking, everybody. I'm just giving some shit. I gotta say
that was
this
a big deal
gameplay,
today, Soccer.
It was. That's why I made fun of it.
No, we're talking about all that stuff too.
But this gameplay is fire, dude, and it's so damn fitting for today. So damn fitting. It's great. Good job, man.
Hey,
good job.
Hey, I got to shout out Cedric H for the super chat, man. Thank you. Colt, there's another one. There's the $20 one here by Adam Opentree. You mind reading that one, and then we'll kind of get into some shout outs, and then it is kind of a long intro. I apologize.
Can I do Adam's voice when I
No, because you just Colt.
I have creative license. Oh, great. See, you guys see how he keeps me down? All right. Adam says, long one, because I'll be on my honeymoon next week.
Oh, shit.
Ooh. Do you think Phil should follow?
What was that?
How long's this show? I don't want to ruin it. Do you think Phil should follow THQ Nordic's lead and open a Japanese studio over buying one? A lot of devs from Tango and Square seem to be unhappy, and they could get some devs.
Yeah, that's a good point, Adam. And I think there's been
I
rumors.
like those names more than some of the other Japanese studios people have been kicking around that are possible for Microsoft.
Yeah, there's been plenty of rumors for Japanese acquisitions. Phil has been very interested, and because remember, as Fonz pointed out quite a while ago, if you are, maybe you're not interested in Japanese titles like myself, I'm not. But with something like xCloud, you are in so many regions that have 4G speed and up, right? So that kind of game could really be popular overall around the globe through streaming or maybe some other markets. So, hey, I guess we'll have to see. But I do have to kind of hurry up and get into some shout outs, even though I accidentally closed down my list here. But it takes about a second to get back here. Ultimately, guys, shout out to 500 people already watching us. We haven't gotten the first damn topic yet, guys. Thank you so much for what you do. Hit that like button. Let's try to hit 300 for the end of the show, 1,000 for the end of the fact. And, of course, share this out for us. Help us grow. You do power the show. And we've got, again, that little scroll thing up top there on the overlay is all the patrons, but there are those who are in the shout-out tiers. The least I can do. We got Friendly Combat, John Blue. We got Darth Chaos, Nerdy Meathead, Prython, Vec Boss, Deviator X, Obi-Wan FTW, a moderator, Tasteless Genie, Scout Trooper 74, Centurion 1307. Check out legionofgamer.com. Black, Real Deal Neil, Suicide King, Darj Knight. We've also got to Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cavillo, and Chanagram, as well as Wimmy Hood, the Bad Boy Live. Shout out to him. He does music and stuff. I'm talking to him about some music right now. Naughty Nubbin, Alfonso Hogan, A Squad, who does a great channel with Ghost Recon. Motherfucker's about to blow past me right now on YouTube. Slim Killer 73. We've also got Mo Cool Kid. Thank you guys so much for what you do. You're absolutely fucking fantastic. Now let's talk about. Go ahead.
Can I just say I watched A Squad like 5 of his videos, and I was just like, "Fuck."
You're like, "Wow, this is how it's done."
These are really, it's really good. Yeah, really. I was taking my notebook out. I was like,
talking the microphone. Noted. Hey, I want to talk about Outer Worlds review, Zalker, because we were all hoping for the best. Obviously, we're Obsidian fans. It's been a while since they've had an RPG like this, and when I heard about this game, I didn't know what to think of it. The funding was kind of different. It's funded by Private Division and 2K, right, Rand? So I always run things by Rand because Rand's like a dictionary, but he's a human. And it came out. The game's doing pretty damn well. It's at an 85 meta right now on Xbox, and I kind of wanted to talk about this Metascore. It seems to be settling around there right now on Xbox. I'm excited as hell to play this, Rand Althor.
Should be Dealer Gaming, because this is going to be kind of the minimum of what you can expect from Obsidian moving forward,
You think so?
because
Oh, minimum.
because
sure.
it's only going to get better. As from what I had heard and other people have heard, the reason they bought Obsidian was not for the Outer Worlds, but for a title they haven't announced yet that they were extremely impressed with.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying
And
there's
Obsidian
an
has
unannounced
had a
game
bunch-
out there, the one that current leak with the job listing just happened, running on Unreal Engine 4. It's a world-class RPG. That's the one Microsoft are really into.
That's the one, yeah. And as far as I am aware, Microsoft was kind of surprised by the like when they originally bought Obsidian and Outer Worlds was kind of debuted, they were kind of surprised by how much people liked it. And now it's going to be a franchise that they'll support in the future. And they've talked about it. Matt Booty said going forward, it's more than likely going to be an Xbox platform exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that they own the IP, which of course they do, and that they probably bought the sequel rights from Private Division.
Yeah.
So
So you're saying that they were surprised with how much people liked Outer Worlds?
Imagine that.
No,
Xbox
I'm talking about the reception the Outer Worlds got when they showed it off at the Game Awards. They were surprised by how much people were excited about it. Not that they were surprised by how well it's reviewing on Metacritic, but when it initially was revealed at the Game Awards last year, if you recall, people were like, "Oh my god, this looks amazing!" I think that surprised some people at Microsoft.
I think it's a little I don't know, because when they first announced like that leak happened about Obsidian, I thought that was a huge get because I think they're extremely talented. They brought out some of the best RPGs we've seen, like Fallout, New Vegas, and all that stuff. And I just don't understand. Like I thought XO would have been way bigger if that didn't get leaked. Like way bigger.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Like yeah, and that's why when I look at this team, like, does that mean like since Outer Worlds has reviewed well, does that mean that they're gonna make a new game and then make Outer Worlds after, or do they trust this developer enough to make maybe 2 games at a time, right? Like hire 2 teams within, kind of like they're doing with Playground Games.
Because I know they have 3 projects in development.
Rand tried to whisper that to hundreds of people. Midway 7, real quick. He says, at the gym, enjoy your games. Be nice. See you all in the next. You know what? Midway's over there making some gains, wishing us luck. He says, hit the like button, people. Thank you so much. So basically, Rand, you're saying confidence in Outer Worlds is great. The game's reviewing great. And the next title's the real thing that they really wanted these guys to bang out.
Oh man!
Well, like I said, I've heard there's multiple titles in development. I don't know which one is closer to getting announced. It could
be Pillars would be one. I heard.
Yeah, and then whatever the
bigger. What this bastard A Squad said in the chat. He said, "I already blew by you. Eyeball him. God damn it, A Squad! Look at you go. He's flying.
What?
He's flying.
Good job."
Cold Eastwood, I want your take on this. Let's talk more about Outer Worlds, right? Because we've kind of discussed the stuff in the future. I'm tired of talking about stuff in the future. We've got a great game on the horizon. Thursday night, we will be playing Outer Worlds. Of course, it's the trash version on Game Pass if you go that route, or it can be, or if you buy it, you pay if you pay $60 for it, you pay full price. The Metascore on that version is actually a 92. So, Cold Eastwood, what are your thoughts?
First off. I said today that the game is free for Game Pass subscribers. Of course, that makes people really angry because you're actually paying for Game Pass. But depending on who you ask, they paid $1 for it. So the other weird thing is, gosh dang it!
Did you just eat some like peppers or something? What's going on?
Yeah, I just had a ghost pepper. The other funny thing is there's over 200 games in Game Pass right now, and if you're paying $10 a month, those games are a nickel a piece. So brand new Outer Worlds right now will cost you a nickel for the month. So when I say the game is free for paying subscribers, I'm not really all that wrong. But the thing, I think the PlayStation guys are angry because besides the Switch, which gets the game in like a month or two, the only ones who are paying full price are the people who choose to. And you can buy it full price on Xbox if you'd like. If you'd like to, quote unquote, support the devs. So this caused a big rift today with fanboys that care more about sales. I'd rather play the version that gets more sales. Well, how about the one that has most players?
That's 4K
got more sales, man.
Got more
there
was
a guy on Twitter I've had blocked for like 2 years It's like stalking me on this. Yeah, it's just people are weird.
So what is their logic? Like last gen on like, did they buy the Call of Duties on the Wii and like the Maddens and what? I don't understand.
They're championing gaming because they buy full price.
So are we not allowed to buy full price titles anymore? Or are they just making assumptions like idiots? What's going on?
You can, but why would you?
I mean,
I can.
Some people,
I
I
can
mean,
buy
if you want to
Outer
own your
Worlds for
games
60.
like these people do, you can still do that. This is just an option, right? So I don't understand.
I love this is the argument I love the most. Oh, well, I'm just gonna get it for $1 and chuck it. First of all, I thought you all got it for $1 for Gears 5. So
your
you can't
month
go
is
back
up.
in for $1 again.
Yeah,
It's gonna be $10.
and AD the $2 3-month or $3 3-month deal ended before this game comes out. So yeah, I mean they're just looking foolish. It's just super weird. The other thing that I acknowledged was that the Xbox One X and PC were going to be the best looking and plus best playing versions,
Mhm.
and that's just how it is.
And you can
It's
get them
true.
for the cheapest, right?
Yeah, I mean the Xbox One X is going to be better looking than the Xbox One, the PS4 Pro.
You know what I'm going to do, Colt?
The Switch.
I'm going to start a campaign. Every video that we talk about hardware and stuff like that, I'm going to beg Microsoft to make sure it's at least $100 more than Sony's.
Yeah.
And
that makes it better.
that way, you know, there's no disputing it. Even though people didn't say that about the Xbox One in 2013.
Let's not forget there's another major problem today with Outer Worlds, and that's that it's reviewing really well. It's getting 9s and 8s, and it's owned, the studio's owned by Microsoft. So the sequel, the inevitable sequel at this point, even Obsidian just talked about last week how they are going to expand on this game, and it lends itself to be expanded and have a sequel to it. It will only be on the Xbox platform.
On console-wise,
yeah. Console-wise.
In terms of like local playability, yeah.
Right, and if it's on PC, it'll be on the Xbox ecosystem. I mean, that's what they're calling it.
See, now personally, I'm like, I don't really care too much. Like, I don't think that a game being exclusive makes it better. Obviously, God of War wouldn't have been a 97 instead of 94 if it were. That's a bad example, actually. So, I'm actually going to use a multiplat and say Assassin's Creed wouldn't have been 5 points higher if it was only on Xbox or PS4. I don't feel like that's the case, and good games review well because they're good. So,
right.
I don't know.
So that's the problem. Is Outer Worlds is doing well. People know that they just bought Obsidian, and Obsidian could do this on a crowdfunding budget, which they kind of did a crowdfunding thing, and then they get taken over by they got picked up by Private Division. Like they've kind of had to hack their way through the first part of the development, and look at what they've done. And if they have, there's two parts to this. If they're with Microsoft, they'll have more funding, but people say, well, if they're under Microsoft, Microsoft's gonna ruin it for them. But every single developer has told the public and the media that they have the full creative freedom in Xbox Game Studios. And some studios, that was their stipulation, that they didn't want to come over if Microsoft was going to tell them what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Double Fine is one of them. Ninja Theory is another one. And Obsidian is another studio that said, we want creative freedom. Microsoft said, that's what you're here to do.
I want to point out, by the way, this is Arkham City gameplay running Xbox One X, as I said. And this is the first time I played this game in like months and months and months. But it's still such a good game. Jabril Williams says, this is a fantastic week for RPG fans. Outer Worlds, we've got Legend of Heroes and Trails of Gold Steel. Trails of Gold Steel. I don't know what that is, man, but thank you so much. We've also got King Long again with the Elon Musk in space. This motherfucker better be an astronaut in 5 or 10 years. He said Elon Musk sent tweet using Starlink. I am not 100% aware of what exactly that is. I'm sure it's some next level shit. SpaceX plans to offer Starlink in 2020. Also can't wait for Outer Worlds. Yeah, very good stuff here. So, I mean, again, Tim Dog, Zalker, I want to hear from people I haven't heard from. Outer Worlds 85 meta at this moment, could go up or down. We'll see. Are you guys playing this? What's going on?
Yep, I'm playing it for sure. I like the. Sorry, Tim.
No, you go first.
No, yeah, I like the fact on it. I was reading a little bit about it, and I heard it's not like a big open world per se, like Fallout or anything like that. I heard it's a little more personal, smaller, but I heard there has a lot of personality in it, and I heard it's like an instant classic, stuff like that. Like I can't wait to play it. I want to see firsthand what like this developer that Xbox just got is going to be bringing to the table, right? And this is without Microsoft backing them and giving them everything they need. And that to me is kind of awesome. And not to mention, it makes Game Pass look awesome. Like we talked about it again. It just like I have the game pre-downloaded already, and I technically really, like Colt said, I didn't spend $1 yet. Like honestly, like I upgraded a while ago, but at that point I already got my money's worth, right? The $1 worth with Gears and all the other games I've played through this. Like at this point, I'm playing this shit for free, and it's like that's just so cool. And the other thing I like about it is a lot of people were talking about it. They should have maybe moved it away from Call of Duty. But for me, that's fine because I'm going to play the 6-hour campaign of Call of Duty, however long it is. And then I'm jumping into freaking Outer Worlds to go crazy on that over the weekend and the rest of the week probably, and a little while after that because it's a longer game.
Mike Ibarra in the chat, by the way. That
fake
is
or real?
That's real, Mike. I modded Mike Ibarra a while back because there's like 20 sock accounts of this guy out there. Everybody wants to be you, Mike. But thanks for stopping by, man. Of course, you're always welcome on. If you want a link, let Tim or I know. But Outer Worlds, man, I'd like to know Mike's take on Outer Worlds as well. As you guys know, Mike no longer works at Xbox. You know, you can kind of get some good stuff out of Mike regarding some of these games and stuff. It'd be very interesting to hear his take on that stuff. But yeah, D-Batch, Outer Worlds, reviews, some of the stuff you've seen on Twitter. Little fuck shit. What do you think?
I don't know. People seem upset that the game is getting a good score. Like, I don't understand. Like, if you're a gamer, you should be glad this is getting a good score. It's another game that you can add to the catalog or that you can play over the holidays. It's a role-playing game. We don't get too many role-playing games, so that are good at least, right? So, or not generic. So, I'm not even into this type of game, and I'm gonna try it. And the fact that I have Game Pass is gonna let me try it. And if it's a good game, I'll probably like it. Whereas if it wasn't in Game Pass, I wouldn't buy it. I probably wouldn't try it unless it was like really discounted or something, and I was doing my backlog of games. So Game Pass is a good thing. The score is a great thing. I think it kind of justifies the purchase of Obsidian by Microsoft, that they're capable of doing good stuff. And like you said, they did this on in the beginning on a shoestring budget through crowdfunding, and then they were bought up afterwards. Now, of course, they got the full backing of Microsoft, and these studios they're able to create what they want to create. So if they have the ability to get the funding that they want and the creative freedom to create the game that they want, sky's the limit, and this is a good start, man.
I'm guessing your mom in a can 12 and a super chat here. Thanks for $5. He says it's not a banger if it's not $60. Great show, guys. I'm guessing you're seeing some of that on Twitter. That's kind of some of the ridiculous logic on Twitter. The people are Fonz. I'm sure you've seen it. Has your mind been blown out the back of your skull by some of the stupidity here?
You know, I've avoided a lot of Twitter lately, so I haven't seen a lot of stuff. And what D-Batch said about people like they wanted to see this game fail, I think that's kind of weird. I haven't seen any of that, and I wouldn't want to see any of that because that's just crazy. Outer Worlds, I'm excited for it personally. I mean, I'm into the Fallout type games, and so I've been very excited for this. And that's why it's kind of insane that Microsoft was kind of surprised at people's reaction to the game. It's like, you know, and let me play devil's advocate here because, you know, it kind of has me worried is if Microsoft was really like taken aback how people, you know, reacted to this game from a studio that's known for creating great RPGs. It's like, are you that clueless? And what is this other game they're making? Is it more like Lucky Tale or is it more like mature? I mean, I don't know, you know, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but it's kind of weird to me that they were kind of, you know, shocked at the reaction to Outer Worlds. It's strange.
Yeah, sorry, just get a text from Sean. Yeah, I mean, largely from what we can tell, Fonz, is that they've got several AAA studios, and Rand, of course, trying to bring you back in the fold here a little bit, but tell me if I'm wrong here, but they've got something like Turn 10, and if people want to consider Polyphony AAA Racer, Turn 10 is definitely that. They've been reviewing better for a decade now. So they got Turn 10. They've got Playground, which are working on two different titles, both of them AAA in terms of Horizon and the RPG. They got Ninja Theory, which have confirmed their most recent title to be a AAA title, looking to set the bar in terms of visuals. They've also got 343, definitely AAA. They got Initiative, which are quoted as saying they're building quadruple A titles. So that's 6 right there, not counting the fact that a lot of these are building more than one title. You also got the Coalition, so that's 7. Anything else that I'm forgetting? You've got Obsidian. Did I count them? That's 8.
I agree that they're going to be coming out with some better games, more mature games. But at the same time, you have to wonder, like, what was so shocking about the reaction to this game? It doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, I'm hanging on that point.
Yeah,
but if that's true, that's weird to me.
I don't think they probably weren't shocked, but I think they've probably taken aback a little bit by maybe they're just not used to getting that much positive feedback here lately, and I think once they feel this kind of wave of positivity coming towards their game, because if you remember, with Gears 5, it was a completely different tone, Fonz. You know this. Gears 5 actually reviewed better than Outer Worlds, but it was surrounded by nothing but negativity and controversy by a bunch of frauds. Now Outer Worlds comes out, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of negativity at all. People are like, this is a great game, can't wait to play it. And it's all because they can play it on their PS4.
The $60 version's better because it's got an 86 Metascore. So,
that's a 92. Maybe it's the Ultimate Edition, 192. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where the game looks good to me. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I like the vibrant colors and the way it looks. I'm all for this type of game. So I'm excited, man. And I think Obsidian, whatever they do, I think it's going to be along the same lines as this. They always stick to sort of this style of game, like RPG or whatnot. I don't know if they really delve into anything else. Do any of you guys know of games they may have made?
I mean, they're very well known for RPGs, but they've gone and they've tackled multiple franchises like Star Wars, South Park, they're extremely they did. Yeah, so they know what they're doing, man. Like they know how to build a freaking immersive open world or just an RPG game. And to be honest with you, what was one of the main things we've talked about Xbox is missing in their first party is RPG open world games, and this studio is world fucking class in doing that. So it's like, come on.
Hey, we got to give a shout out to over 900 already watching. Tim, give us a little freak out. Everyone plug yours.
Woo!
All right.
900.
So we did hit that. We hit that last show as well. We hit it pretty early this show. We wanted to say thanks to everyone that powers this show. Hit that like button. Let's try to get the past 300 for the end of the show, 1,000 after the fact. Share this out for us. We do appreciate it. Kids Move says, happy Outer World scores are scored well. Sup, Mike Ybarra. And you can tell it's the real Mike Ybarra. That's his real YouTube account, too. That ain't no fraud Ybarra. So, shout out to Mike.
While we were all talking about this, I did just check out Twitter because I've been a little bit away from Twitter, too. Lately, I've been just in and out. I've been very busy. But, what I'm reading right now is pretty comical about,
what are they saying, Tim?
Well, I see our friend Nick really going crazy over cults.
Who's Nick?
The creepy bunny.
That creepy, that weirdo.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a breakdown there. I don't know. I mean, if you don't like somebody, just put them.
Is it really weird anymore though? If that's all you do is stalk other men on the internet, what do you think about that?
I mean,
it's kind of like normal, right, for him? So.
I just think that he should just, he thinks of cults like this horrendous human being. I think he's kind of made that up in his head, and he's kind of being unrealistic with that. I when I first knew Nick, same thing happened with me. So he's definitely a hardcore Sony fan.
Imagine this, Tim. Tim, imagine this, that you spend your all day on Twitter bashing doing negative PR for a platform you don't even play on.
I've seen that.
And you're doing it gratis. You're doing it non-profit pro bono.
And what they'll say, Colt, is like, you poke fun at the PS4, it's gonna be more expensive. It's like, is it any different than what those guys do every single day? Like,
and to some of the things that like D said, you would believe me if this game had a 72 Metacritic right now. People would be laughing at Microsoft and making jokes and saying, look at this studio, this and that. What have they done?
This is what they bought. Yeah.
Right. And that would be the talk of the town. So when something happens good like this, you got to be able to say, hey, they did it here. And like, as everyone chronicled, they started this as a fundraiser game, got picked up, and then they really pushed ahead. And now they got possibly a huge new IP on their hands, in addition to whatever other stuff that's going to be coming to Xbox as well. So for me, I'm very happy for them. I thought I remember when Obsidian was purchased, I was like, holy crap. I was like, that's a huge get.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it was leaked. It was first leaked early, and then it was confirmed by a journalist, and everyone knew about it. So everyone said, "Oh, this XO sucked. It was this and that," and they basically, they nabbed Obsidian, and another good pickup was in Exile. And listen, I remember in 2016, 2017, a huge push against Xbox was they don't have RPGs, they don't have Fable, they don't have this, and the way it's looking up the trajectory of what's going on and what's coming up ahead, Xbox is going to have a ton of RPGs.
Yeah.
So
I mean, think about it, Tim. Like, the
department,
biggest criticism of the brand was lack of studios, and they fixed that, right? And unfortunately, unless one of y'all motherfuckers know how to build a time machine, I don't know how to make games build faster, nor do I want games to rush, right? I want quality stuff. We've been asking for quality stuff since 2017 when we started the show. So that's kind of what we want. I also want to give a shout out to S. Vitterman. Yes, had a great show with Z. I represented myself more than anything, my personal opinions, and kind of gave what I felt like was kind of common sense, and I thought it was a good show. So thank you so much.
One thing I want to touch on with the whole thing that some people are running with, saying, well, Outer Worlds was a game that was already created before Microsoft, came in and bought Obsidian and stuff. What you have to get out of your head is the fact that this is the same studio who made this game. They're going to continue to make the games they make. It's not like this game was going to be any different had Microsoft bought them before they even started production.
I mean, they don't even interfere with their biggest studios. 343, the Coalition had already confirmed Microsoft did not tell them one thing they couldn't do.
It's not like the talent is wasted at all. And that's the one narrative I hate listening to out there. It's just BS. There's no need to talk like that. I mean, these teams are going to create what they create no matter what. So,
yeah.
Can I say, I honestly, like, those guys that we were talking about on Twitter that are like wanting the game to fail, and they just honestly, like, fuck them. Like, okay, who cares? Like, honestly, to me, they're not even real gamers, because everybody in here, Dealer, Colt, everybody in here has championed Fonz. We've championed God of War. We've championed a lot of the like Spider-Man. Like, we've talked to people that are like, I haven't played it. Yeah, we have talked to people that are like, I haven't played God of War, and we're like, well, then stop what you're doing, go fucking play the game. Like that's what we are. We're gamers at heart here. Do we prefer the Xbox platform? No, duh. That's just who we are. We enjoy that platform, but we never say we want this game to fail. We want this game to fail. Like, we pre-order everything and we play it and judge it from our own eyes, not because of what studio or what company runs it. So grow the fuck up.
I don't know. You've been a little judgy. You've been a little judgy on Death Stranding, Zucker.
I mean, yes, I have, but I'm still gonna play it.
But I've always seen that. I've always said that a lot of the anti-Xbox guys, or people, they never ever give Microsoft credit.
No, very rarely.
It's coming to a point like today, like with this, I would say a little bit of a breakdown that I'm seeing from people, because I'm just not even there. I'm seeing people saying like, "Oh, don't put people down because they buy $60 games." Like, nobody said that. Shut up.
They're already spinning it, right?
They're spinning out of their shoes. It's ridiculous.
Tim told everyone to shut up.
They've been calling us poor gamers for buying dollar games, but now they're spinning it around. Oh, don't talk about rich people. That's so mean.
Yeah.
About.
I don't even think it's about rich or poor. I think it's about it's about choice, options, value. If you care, then
but it's about fanboy versus fanboy logic. At the end of the day, that's what it is. What they're spewing out there is just complete ridiculousness. I just, when I hear things like that, it's like, them spinning that around, they were the ones that started that whole thing about dollar games, diabetic gaming, all this stuff, just throwing it at the Xbox
Well, I don't
fans.
think diabetic gaming had nothing to do with the dollar games. I think that was Sea of
I know what
Thieves.
he's saying.
Yeah, that was Sea of Thieves.
Don't talk shit about Sea of Thieves, all right?
It's so easy.
It did lend a hand in that too, because they did talk about the sparseness of games, and even within Game Pass, there wasn't games there for everybody and stuff, and they're just playing, paying $1 to play the big games and then bounce after a month. It's ridiculous, and to say that people are talking about people paying $60 games, no. Anytime you hear something like that, it's just some guys giving it back to the guys that were saying this stuff about dollar games.
100%.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Neon Shinobi. He says, I should be working right now, but the podcast is live and I'm all ears, loving the show. Thank you so much, brother. Do appreciate it. I want to do a quick chat poll, right? If you
hit 1,000 viewers, Dealer.
Yeah, we got
Look at that.
We got 1,000 people.
Wow. And Mike Ibarra.
Yeah, we passed
way
last
he
week
says
by
that.
100 already, guys. Thank you so much. Hit that like button.
Awesome.
Wow.
Share this out, guys.
Middle of nowhere.
let's
Shout
keep-
out to you guys.
Let's
Damn.
keep going. Let's keep going.
Shout
That's
out
what
to
I say.
D-Batch.
Hey, I'm going to do a little poll in the chat here, all right? Not a poll that D-Batch can dance around. We're talking about a poll with numbers, right? So if you got your keyboard, get it ready. If you got your phone, get it ready, whatever. So I want to, one, if you actually think that something like $1 on Game Pass, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to understand the logic here. If you think that the option to play a game through Game Pass, like The Outer Worlds, is a bad thing, hit 2. If you think it's a great thing, hit 1. And let's find out, the chat, real gamers, or these Twitter guys that have proven not to play many games. Let's see who's right. So if Game Pass with Outer Worlds is a great thing, hit 1. If it's a bad thing for the consumer and a bad thing for you to play games that like the Outer Worlds for
dollar games.
Yeah,
I'll take dollar games all day. Give it to me on PlayStation, please, Sony.
One, Outer Worlds on Xbox for cheap Game Pass, good. 2, it's bad. Also, I want to just bring up the fact that people are so concerned about the sales while neglecting the fact that Microsoft have already talked about how Game Pass
I'm worried
boosts
about
sales.
the developers. I'll just pay $60 so I can support them.
Oh man.
Yes.
Look at
No,
all those ones.
oh.
All those ones.
One thing I have to say about Game Pass, for me personally, and my spending habits, in the past, if Outer Worlds had come out, I would, no matter what, buy the game. But now, what I do usually, and this goes for Gears and some other games, I will utilize the Game Pass and play the game. But I usually, most 9 out of 10 times, I buy the game at a later date, either on a sale. It might not be full price, but I do still want to own those games, and I'd rather not have it as a Game Pass pass for the game. I'd rather have the own game. So I still do buy the games in the end. I just kind of do it in a way where if I have a bunch of free cash, I'll buy the game outright. So it's just a great option to have for a gamer, and just for somebody. We talk so much about, at the beginning of the generation about Microsoft not being pro-consumer and all these things, and, they're bad. A lot of this stuff like that they've come out with the cross-buy and Game Pass and all these things that they've done, they're totally pro-consumer. And, it's just sad to see that, people are just really hard up to give them, criticism.
Bottom line, though,
to give
Tim,
them credit.
It's all about experiences, right? These games are big experiences for people, and you don't get any less of an experience playing it on Game Pass. You don't get any less of experience playing it on Game Pass than you do buying a $60 title. I mean,
100%.
it's the same thing. You get the same experience, the same impact, and that's what I strive for. I used to be a guy who was all about the physical games. I didn't want nothing to do with digital. Guess what? I'm 100% digital now.
Shit.
He also
You
does
a flip
xCloud
flopper. That's what
exclusively.
you is. Hey,
that's
Joseph in the chat, right? Real quick, Fonz. I'll let you continue a second. He says, "What's good?" Basically, he's saying he can't wait to play Outer Worlds on Game Pass. We got a bunch of other people saying this is a game that I wouldn't even try if not for Game Pass. Which again, we've got more information on that later in the show. Mikey Barr says one question mark. Obviously, ain't got no audio right now. Shout out to Mike. Kev with the super chat saying 1 as well. And Wilmy Hood, shout out to you, brother. I saw you in the chat too. Kids Move. I got to give some shout outs to people that show up and support the show too. Geekhead, we got Shinsai, John S, Gamer by Choice. We've also got the Texas Exes as well, Captain Rana, and so many others. If I missed you, I'll come back and I'm sure I'll get you later. But again, yeah.
Strap 4K says, you guys hype renting games. It's weird.
Yeah, that's really weird to have the same experience you do, but I'm paying $1.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Anybody who's listening knows that we're hyping options.
No. You know what we're hyping? Pro-consumerism. That's what we're hyping.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't care about these companies' wallets. I care about my own. Okay. That's the bottom line. I don't understand why people are so high on this. Well, I buy this title for $60. I own this copy. Okay, you own that copy, but guess what? I had the same exact experience that you did playing that game. Same exact.
That's weird to think that just to boil it down to renting a game. That's just
it's just
stop eating those ghost peppers.
It's just stupid. Why are you worrying about a multi-billion-dollar company's pocketbook? You know what I mean? Like,
I got a question here. I
wonder if that same guy has Netflix. I wonder if he feels bad about renting all those movies.
I know who that guy is. The guy's
did you pay for Stranger Things season 1, 2, and 3, or did you rent it on Netflix? What? I don't understand.
Hey, Info Aquasafe, and tell me if I'm wrong, but that looks like a $150 super chat there. Is that what that is?
There's a capital A before.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's a certain currency.
Okay, well, I don't know how much it is. I don't care if it's $1. Thank you so much, man. He says, hey, guys, just showing my support. Keep it up. I wish I knew your currency. I would probably, freak out a little bit. So thanks again, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Cole, Underachiever has a super chat as well, and if you want to read a few of these off, you can.
Okay, let me go up to it. Oh, scroll you.
Yep, and welcome to my world.
Oh, crap, yeah. I don't know if I can see it now. I think it was the one he said, I'm really happy to not hear the smoke detector. Good job, Zocker. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. He says, hi, I appreciate not hearing the smoke detector battery indicator. Yeah, he's saying great job,
Sometimes
Zocker.
Heroes don't wear capes, and that's what I just did.
Xbox Battleground says, over 1K viewers. Congratulations. Thank you so much, sir.
Wow.
And, of course, Adam Opentree, again, he says, quick question. Do you think Xbox will still have a payment plan for Scarlett like they did? Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of a limited run thing, so I'm not sure if they'll do the subsidy again on that.
Yeah, we have to.
Weird.
Go ahead, D.
I'm sorry, D.
No, I was gonna say we have to see the numbers that they produce because I'm pretty sure that was a test run. Now, if I'm like 98% sure these consoles, especially what we know so far, what they're packing, they're gonna be at least $500. Let's say
that was actually.
Worse.
Just not to interrupt, but that was a Dell preferred credit thing, and I actually signed up for it, but I don't know. I don't think that they're going to be doing.
What was that program called? I remember that now.
All Access.
Ah, yeah.
Yes, and everyone went crazy about that.
Everyone was crazy, even though Microsoft were charging you 0% interest. They're like, just get a credit card with 0%. You're like, what?
Why you gotta make 3 payments?
if anything, I think they'll probably have a trade-in for like the Xbox One X, the S, to give you a good deal for it.
They do that pretty much every time, but for people to say, well, they should just let us, like have some kind of dedicated plan for an upgrade type thing. Like their hardware's worth what it's worth. D-Batch, the cops are coming. Gamer by Choice.
I gotta go.
Gamer by Choice says I played and bought more games.
Canada has police
due to Game Pass. Yeah, that was a horse. That was a horse with a siren on his back. Yeah.
That's what they say happens.
They're on a horse with a siren, telling me to pull over. Forget you, man.
I'm out. But yeah, the chat overwhelmingly it's ones, and for some reason Obi-Wan spamming our own chat with a bunch of numbers. He might have fell on his keyboard. Maybe that cat's on his keyboard again. He had problems with that the other day.
He's probably playing Modern Warfare on the.
Probably. He's on mobile dominating toddlers. I'm the best.
Underachiever says that's Australian dollars, and it should be about $115 US.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Man, I forgot his name now. Oh, it's still there. Info Aquasafe. Thank you, sir. I did not realize, but now I do. Thank you so much for the $115, man. That is that's outstanding, and very few people love this show that much, or can. So I just want to throw that out there. We got, you know what? We've been on this topic
There
for a
it
while.
is.
We've been on
Not without
topic.
the
We
dollar
got
gaming.
1,100 people watching right now. We're still in the same. It's the
Wow.
first damn topic. All right. So again, because I got a gun in my head, this is the part where I let you guys know that hit the like button, sharing it out really helps. Yeah, you know, if you want to see the show grow. There's also links down in the description if you want to support the channel through merch or Patreon or anything like that. Become a member, hit that join button. We've got emojis, channel member badges, and more. You'll see all kinds of badges in the chat, custom emojis that were drawn up by Colt Eastwood here. And check his channel out and do the same there if you can. And support everybody here. You guys are absolutely fantastic. But Outer Worlds doing great, 85 meta on Xbox. We think it's going to be doing phenomenally. Randall Thor, you fucking died. I forgot you were even here. Day 1 patch. Tell us about that, Rand, if you're even there.
I'm just.
You are
looking
too
at
quiet,
this
man. What are you
Batman.
doing?
Randus.
Hey, look.
This motherfucker's in the
I've always
background
told
playing
you
Sudoku.
before, this isn't my show. I'm not going to talk over people, so I'll let other people talk. And 2, fucking Batman, dude. I'm watching you play this game. Arkham City, one of the best games ever, better than Spider-Man by far.
Oh shit.
And
shit.
yeah, so I'm letting you guys talk while I enjoy watching. greatness
Again,
over
I was
here.
rusty during this gameplay. I was still
Yeah,
kicking
you
some
can
ass,
definitely
man.
tell.
Yeah, well, fuck you, Rand.
So
How about that?
What do you want to talk about, dealer? Hit me up.
I mean,
what are we talking about
again, Day 1 patch for Outer Worlds. We'll close out Outer Worlds. Comes out Thursday at 11 p.m. Central, right? 12 Eastern, right? Or am I wrong there?
now? Right.
All right, and it has a Day 1 patch. What do you know about that, real quick? Because I hear it's pretty big.
Supposed to be like a 36 gig patch. I
Wow.
don't think it's just gonna add on to the existing like 38. I think it's just gonna be a bunch of bug fixes and like
Have you played it?
it's just gonna overwrite it. Essentially, it's gonna be the
I'm
new
hearing
version.
there aren't many bugs.
Oh yeah,
Well,
no
Yeah,
no
that's
real
what they're
big bug
saying.
issues.
and
Yeah.
the reviewers may have the Day 1 patch already. It may already been out. Sometimes that does.
But we didn't have
happen,
any bugs
so-
in Gears 5 when we were reviewing it and playing it before it came out either. So
Yeah, and then Gears 5 shit itself.
I know. I don't know what the hell happened there. So it's either a patch or something.
That was more of a networking issue. I mean, I don't think Outer Worlds has to deal with that. And from what from the reviews
point,
I've seen and
Zucker.
heard, I heard that it's thank you. I heard that it's there's not a lot of bugs, and that's somebody that one of the reviewers said. He said, "I'm really surprised for how big of a game it is that there isn't more bugs in it." And he goes, "That's a big surprise for me." He's like, "I think he only encountered one through his whole 30+ hour playthrough."
Damn. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
impressive
dude,
for
that's
especially
pretty
for an
cool.
Obsidian game. That's pretty good. King
Well,
Long
I
says Okami sequel confirmed, and Riot Games making their own what is that, CS:GO with the
You are
building?
getting hit way too much in this gameplay, bro. You gotta be
Bro,
that.
dude,
bad.
I'm
I haven't
watching
played
this.
You're-
I haven't
getting
played
hit
this
way
in a
too
while,
much.
Rand. Leave me alone.
Damn.
Man,
I
you
did
don't
see-
get hit that much.
Hey, King Long,
Uh,
King Long,
time to
thanks,
bring
man.
out
Yeah, there's a
Dark
lot of interesting. Don't bring out Dark Rand. Leave him alone. He looks like Chris Gaines.
What about Baby Mouth Rand?
Oh my god!
Are we really doing this right now?
No, we're not doing this right now. We're moving forward.
Are we really doing this right now?
All right, we're
Taylor?
moving
You have
forward.
1,100
We're moving
people
forward to
watching.
the.
We're talking
We're
about
moving forward
Baby
to an
Mouth Rand.
RDX question real quick. All right, by Waza55 on Twitter. Thank you so much. He says, "Do you think people will downplay Outer Worlds?" Oh, this is perfect because of the Microsoft connection. Colt, I want to hear from you. General consensus, real quick. Did they downplay it? Are they downplaying it? Are they trying to take credit away from, or even facts away from the fact that it is a Microsoft studio? Okay.
I'm just kidding. Yes, they are. I mean, that's what we started talking about at the beginning of the show. Yeah, they're trying to discredit this. They know, like I said, Obsidian now belongs to Xbox Game Studios. Obsidian is obviously talented. They made a great game. Everyone's impressed. Game Informer gave it a 9.25. GameSpot gave it a 9. IGN gave it an 8.5. Like, it's just generally a really, really good game. And anything over an 8 is super good. Yeah, so they're trying to downplay it.
Well, technically, like a
obviously, guys-
7.5 is classified as good, I think, on IGN scale. I
Who was
think.
trying to
I
downplay it?
guess, but I know a lot of us here listening and typing in the chat would say that anything under an 8, you're like, should I get it day one? Unless you really, really want it. Like we always kind of have that hesitation, right? And if it's around an 85, we're like, oh yeah, I'm definitely getting it. But this is really about that deal where this is a Microsoft studio now, and obviously they know what they're doing, and it's good to be excited.
But who's downplaying it? Who's Who's out there?
Fonz,
no,
you're usually like the social guy I go to, like Fonz. What kind of creepers you seen today on Twitter? And you know everything.
Dude, I've been staying away. I've been working a lot, man. I haven't read anything.
Yeah, it's just the trolls, man. They're just at it. They just want Microsoft to fail, and to me, that's just anti. Listen,
well,
the stuff that they're doing shitty, and that you want them, to know, fine. But you know what? The point's been made. Microsoft is at the point where they know the mistakes that they made, and we're actually seeing them put into action a plan to have a remedy for the problem. Like we're seeing all these studios that they're picking up. We're seeing how they're getting the top people from the industry. We're seeing the success that Game Pass is becoming. Like, I don't understand these guys. They're just got nothing else to
I've
do.
seen
Just
so many
play
of them
your
exposed,
console. You
though,
don't like
I
the
think
other
they've been
platform?
doing it for so
Play your
long.
console.
You can't understand stupid. You just can't. Like honestly, like when you think about it,
right.
like Xbox. Last month we had Gears 5. This month we have Outer Worlds on Game Pass. Like we are getting 2 AAA games in 2 months. So I don't understand what else you need. Like
I just think people can't deal with Microsoft doing well. Honestly, I really think that there are certain people out there that are very happy when Microsoft is failing or
yes, I play on inverted.
A big butt of the joke. But when Microsoft actually is doing stuff, that's great. And stuff people don't know what to do.
Fun. Some of us are just born to play inverted, man. I mean, come on.
Maybe
I thought you had a good point, Tim. Other
You
than
sleep in a coffin, I play inverted, man. We're even.
You guys are sitting here talking about what kind of pants they wear, and
I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Crazy Greek Dude, Noof Nukem, Greg E3 Egg. We got ABAC, ABCD Elemental P. We got IEYRE Ire. We've also got Jafe Jeffrey, NASCAR Aloe as always. NASCAR's always here, man. We've also got Straight Hate Gaming, Jay Linsky, Buck Roger, and more. And of course, try to do some more shout outs again. Names up top, patrons, Twitter information for the panel, all that good stuff, guys. We're still improving, getting overlays done and ready and all that stuff. Thanks again for making it all happen. But you know what? We got to kind of move forward here because
we do.
This is a long ass question. Thanks for the long ass topic. Thanks for the question, by the way, Waza. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward to God, there's so many good topics here.
That was only one topic?
That was only one topic, bro.
Dealer, my rate's going up, man.
Your what? Your rate? I'm about to I'll throw you an old hot pocket. How about that?
Man.
We're not even close.
I might have been in it too.
Yeah,
we'll make your mouth a little bit smaller. How about that?
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Hey, I wanted to throw out, and maybe Rand, Tim, you would know more about this anyway, but more than anybody, I think. But marketing guy basically behind the original Xbox, taking control of the global Xbox Live. He's getting a global Xbox Live role now, right? You guys, Harvey Eagle. You guys heard about this?
Eagle.
Yeah, I saw that.
Caw, bitch. Yeah. I mean, Rand, is this good news or who's he replacing?
It's a crow.
Whatever. All right, go ahead.
I mean, he moved from the UK. I think he previously worked in the UK and Ireland, and now he kind of moved over to the US. I'm not sure what happened. I think,
Are you okay?
So like Xbox Live and Game Pass were like similar things, and I think Game Pass split off from Xbox. So person behind that move with Game Pass, and now Xbox Live needed its own marketing person, and this is the guy. This is who they chose to do that.
Is that a good decision, real quick, or no?
I don't know Harvey Eagle. I don't know what things he's been involved in. I'm just saying I think that's what happened in this case. I could be wrong.
Well, I mean, can we just do the ultimate test? Do you know the last guy's name, and we can just figure out whose name sounds cooler, and that's who's the best?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, do you know when the new dashboard comes out? That's what young Raz wants to know.
They've been working on this since July. I had a version of it in July. I tested. Then they did a second round of tests a couple months ago. I didn't get in the last one, and now they just put out a third test with a couple different control groups. I have a video up on my channel if you want to see it.
Yeah, check that out. Good video.
think it's the best iteration of the dashboard yet because I like everything being pins, and I like being able to remove things I'll never use, like Mixer and Community and the Game Pass tab, and it's really fast now. Like,
oh, okay.
How much better it is.
How do you get so many
I think
views,
this dashboard...
Huh?
I don't know. That's the same for you, Mr. 500,000 in 5 days.
Yeah. You type in Xbox Scarlett, Colt's video is like the first video in the world. It's like, all right, well, maybe that had something to do with it.
I would say that this dashboard comes out next year. Some point when they kind of figure out what they want to do. And this is just me guessing. I also think this will be the dashboard for Scarlett.
Oh shit.
Visual tweaks. Because I can't see them going through all these problems and all these issues of figuring it out and then completely overhauling it for Scarlett and having it different from the Xbox One. So I think it'll be pretty much the same.
They're doing the opposite of what they did with the Xbox One, the launch Xbox One. They're going to use your test and make sure that the UI and everything is well done and everything, and then bring out the console.
I'll be pretty disappointed if my friends list works properly at launch because
it's about time. I mean, they need to nail this stuff with Scarlett because I'm tired of the sluggish UI, the party chat system that just it doesn't work sometimes. It's just they need to fix it. They need, and I hope this is working really good, man. That was my question for you, Rand, if it was fast and smooth.
Dude, I think it's so much better. Like my games and apps loads up quicker, the store loads up quicker. Everything seems to be much faster. And I think this is go ahead.
They got to leave it alone. Okay, if it's fixed and it's working, leave it alone.
I actually watched your video, right? It did really seem snappy, and just how it went down vertically. That was a big.
Hey, we got a ton of topics, and as magical as Randall's video was, which it was magical, go watch it. We do have to move forward, and I got to get to some of these super chats as well because I'm falling behind here. But Meat Puppet says love the show and gameplay. Meat Puppet out. Thanks so much. Do appreciate it, brother. We've also got Wilmy Hood with a $99 super chat. This motherfucker dropping bombs. He says I keep saving money with Game Pass so I can give it to dealer. Do appreciate it, man. But hey, you got a good point. Game Pass saving a lot of people a lot of money. Also got Straight Hate Gaming trying to support the guys that talk about things that I like to hear. Yes, that's the thing, man. You got to kind of keep it moving. We got plenty of criticisms, but at the end of the day, we've spoken, and hopefully they will get these things hammered out. I feel bad too because something was going on with my chat and I couldn't see nothing, so I had to refresh, and I lost several super chats there. So I apologize if I kind of missed any a little bit ago. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We do got to move forward. We've got the Game Pass boost effect here, and Microsoft have given more information on the Game Pass thing. We got so many people talking about in the chat. Game Pass subscribers are playing 40% more games, including those outside of the service. This was confirmed by ID at Xbox's Agostino. Am I saying that right, Rand? Why am I coming to you? Simonetta.
Why are you coming to me?
Agostino Simonetta. If I'm butchering that, I'm sorry. But this is an employee.
To me, when I misspell and missay like common words.
When you say
right?
anaconda, yeah. Anaconda. So an official ID at Xbox employee says it's not limited to just the games in rotation. People are actually going out of the store and buying games on both, basically games that are on the service and not on the service. They are also branching out to 91% of subscribers have said they've tried something that they wouldn't have bought, and they did it thanks to Game Pass, which increases engagement. And because they're trying more games, they're buying more games. So again, this is their official quote. Game Pass subscribers are playing 40% more games, including those outside of the service, which naturally, as they've already confirmed, leads to more sales as well. And I think it's time. Tim. I think it's time for the Game Pass naysayers, and the fact they keep talking about how that it doesn't help sales, it doesn't help, it's a bad thing. It's time to shut the fuck up. Like, there's been so many employees, so many developers come out and talk about this stuff. The Iron Lords are going to have even more information on this soon. I was talking to Cognito. You guys are just digging an L-shaped grave. Like, why are you smoking an L-shaped cigarette, playing an L-shaped controller, be eating a bowl of Frosted L's? Now you're burying yourselves alive in an L-shaped grave, right? So I think there's been enough information out there. I got
a quote from a developer for you, dude.
Go
ready
ahead.
For this?
Yeah, quote from a developer.
Mike Rose, who made Descenders, said, I've said it a bunch of times before, but Xbox Game Pass has been very good for Descenders. Before Game Pass, our daily Xbox and Steam sales were about 1-to-1. after Game Pass, daily Xbox sales are consistently either double or triple Steam.
But how? How?
But you can play it for free in Game Pass, Rand. Why would you buy it in Game Pass?
No, maybe I'm sure a lot of the naysayers will say that Microsoft's just paying this guy to say nice stuff.
Well, you know
about
what they're saying now too.
whatever.
It only helps little games, not AAA games. Well, Phil
It helps
Spencer.
small games, but not the big games.
Yeah.
Can I just say this real quick though? What about people? People say, "Oh, they're finessing Xbox Game Pass." What about the people that go in for 1 month? You know, they pay, I don't know, their $10 fee, or say they did it for their first time $1, but let's just say $10, and they buy a bunch of games that they want to get at a discounted price. Plus, they get to play some other games they enjoy for that month. They come out and they have some games that they got already.
Even if they
Some people aren't going to do that.
It doesn't.
You know,
It's a fantastic option, basically.
but even if they go in at $1, even if they go in at $1, stay a month and bounce, it doesn't matter. They know that there's going to be people out there like that. They do. These type of people are in every streaming service out there, and that is going to be a given. But there's going to be people that stay with the service, and that's
Well,
what
it's
they're
not even-
based on. And it's
it's not-
working.
it's not even
working
that.
on it.
I know, but it's not even that. To me, it's each one of us has played a game where we didn't expect to like it. Like we've
Oh,
all
that's
sat
true.
there and played a game, and here, newsflash, everybody: Pirate Legends Zulker. I didn't give a fuck about Sea of Thieves when it was being advertised before it came out. I was
Okay.
like, I'm not going to play this game. Game Pass came out. I played it, loved it. Have over freaking however many hours in it. That happens. People
Yeah,
probably
you know
are
what's
like, I'll
funny?
check this out, and that's it.
Back when PlayStation 4 was when it launched, it pushed a lot of indie games back then. And I wasn't a big indie guy, but I became a big indie guy because all I had was a PlayStation back then. I was playing indie games, and I was turning out to love some of these games. And so, of course, when I got Game Pass, man, there's a bunch of different types of games in there. Indies, blockbuster, AAA games. There's all kinds of stuff in there to play. So, I mean, for me, it was like a win-win. There's so much to play in there.
Hey,
There's so-
I gotta point out. Noof Nukem says I'll happily eat my L-shaped flakes. To my knowledge, Noof isn't one that's sitting there claiming that Game Pass doesn't help games. Now, maybe I could be wrong, but Noof's just a guy who doesn't want to use Game Pass. That's fine. Like, I don't got a damn
Yeah,
problem
he
with
said
that.
a minute ago, he said Xbox needs to not put their big games day and date on Game Pass. They need to wait 12 months minimum.
No. I don't agree with that at all, and the prophets say otherwise as well. And honestly, I'm looking out for myself. I'm not looking out for Microsoft. I don't get paid by Microsoft. I don't get paid. I'm not a stockholder. I'm saying, hey, where can I play this game for the best value? And if your concern is that it's not making them money, that's confirmed to not be accurate. They make just as much.
What do we do with everything we buy in life? We always look for the best deals. So for me, it's like it's a no-brainer that you would want.
I mean,
to
they are a consistent $1 trillion company, and if people don't think they've cranked the numbers and know a little bit more than maybe the people in this panel or anybody in the chat, maybe all of us combined, they know exactly what they're making. So
I can tell you what the problem is, and people get stuck in the past. The problem is that Game Pass day and date exclusives launched in 2018, and the first games on Game Pass in that service was State of Decay and Sea of Thieves. But the very last game of that year was the 92 Metacritic Forza Horizon 4. So people have this real skewed perspective of what they think quality is on Game Pass. The very next year it was Crackdown right away, and that was a tough one. But then at the end of the year it was Gears 5, and now it's Outer Worlds. So actually, it's kind of working in the favor of Xbox. If you look at Netflix, people say the same thing. Most of those games on Game Pass are garbage. Well, look at Netflix. Like, the majority of the games or majority of the movies and shows aren't AAA blockbuster, grade A TV shows and movies.
Especially
but there
at
are
the beginning.
Yeah, but there are plenty there that people. Yeah, right, Zucker. There are plenty of shows there that keep people subscribing every month because they have great exclusive content and content on there that people love to watch. And that's what Game Pass is doing. People, like D said, they may sign up for a month, buy a couple games on discount on their way out as they bounce 1 month on $1, maybe. But I would say the huge majority of people sign in, see the value, and they just haven't left.
Hey,
Yeah,
I gotta give Immortal a shout out real quick because I did miss his super chat. He says $5 super chat. Are we talking about Modern Warfare anytime tonight? It comes out Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I didn't have any topics, but I wasn't aware that there was. I know it's a big ass game, like it's 130 something gigabyte download. But other than that, I'm looking forward to playing the single player for sure.
Which, as I talked to you earlier about that Tonight Dealer, you can choose not to download the multiplayer if you don't want to play the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. So it's got
Isn't that what they call modular installs?
It's a form of intelligent delivery.
Right.
Well, it's not even that. It's just that there's separate packs within the like you have to download the main file, which is X amount of gigs. But then there's campaign pack 1 and campaign pack 2, and then like multiplayer pack 1 and multiplayer
Why are there
pack
two
2.
campaign packs though?
Was
one the non-lethal mode pack, or what's going on?
Maybe. I'm saying maybe there's like a requirement that like DLC can only be X amount of gigs. So if you have to break it up into multiple, but like if you're playing Call of Duty and you're never going to play the single player, just don't need to download the single player packs. Or if you're not playing multiplayer, don't need to download that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well,
so hopefully that answers your question, Immortal.
And to go back to the Game Pass thing, like honestly, guys, like Game Pass or PS Now is where you discover your favorite game. That's just great. I just think
trademarked.
I mean, I'm sorry. Game Pass is my bad, guys. Your next favorite game. There you go.
Your next favorite game. I just get hit with the baseball bat.
You
you're getting hit so much, man.
I know, dude.
Jesus
Batman
Christ.
would be dead.
Randall, what was happening was I was trying to listen. I was trying to listen to you talk on. I was trying to listen to Rand talk on Xbox 2, and I was falling asleep in the middle of this gameplay. My bad. I just want to apologize for everyone.
That's why I fell asleep a little bit earlier as well. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I know, right? Hey, we've got Tim. What's this thing you shared? Highest earning video game publishers. That's for
2018 in terms of gaming revenue. Xbox was 10.4 billion. Sony led the way with
16.5 billion, and that's games only, right?
Yeah, games alone, third-party games. Anything that you think of from games alone.
But I heard most of their revenue was just nothing but services, right, or something like that.
Yeah, and Minecraft. That's the reason why that number's so big. I heard that was because of Minecraft.
So for those that are curious about the rest of this, it is Sony 16.5 games only, Microsoft 10.4 games only. Interesting that Microsoft's at less than half the install base, most likely, but well over double what Sony, well over half of what Sony are doing there. Nintendo 9.9 billion, Activision 7.2, EA 5.2. These aren't games only, by the way, according to this. Tencent 4.4, games only. Bandai 3.8. So that's just a quick rundown of kind of how big Sony and Microsoft are doing. Sony are doing a big work over here too, but they got a big install base as well.
Huge.
Well, the year that was kind of an off year for Microsoft. They didn't really have. Sony was that year in 2018. They were loaded to the gills. They had Gears. They had God of War. They had Spider-Man. They had Detroit. The usual games. It just goes to show you that people who say Xbox is dead and all this stupidity, it's just stupidity, because that's all it is. Xbox, for a down year, is making that much. I can only imagine what the next couple of years happens, especially with all the stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zalker, real quick, man. Since we're kind of we got to make our way to some bigger topics here, but again, we do have to give a shout out to over 11, almost 1,200, really, kind of rocking out with us on the show on a random Tuesday here. We do appreciate it. Hit that like button if you haven't. Let's blast well past 400 for the end of the show. 1,000 after the fact, and of course share this out. Help the show grow. Things like that. Again, feedback on overlay, all the stuff on screen. I'll be improving that. But Zalker, I want kind of the lowdown on this Batman Arkham Legacy stuff. You said you kind of read through this. I'll kind of get the gist of the leaker here. Someone named Sabi, which apparently has been pretty accurate in the past. And in regards to this, there's some stuff that he's saying about the game, right?
Yeah. So this guy is like actually super credible. Like Nintendo almost took like legal action against him for how good his leaks were. Like literally, like it's in it. There's like people that have talked about him that bad. But yeah, so apparently the game is called Batman Arkham Legacy. You're going to be able to play as all or most of the Bat family, and apparently like there's going to be like and like all different abilities for each character, upgrade trees and costumes. Like that's what people are saying. It's going to have the Court of Owls, like that's been rumored and we've talked about before as the main villains. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, and for them to call it Arkham, right? Like the other ones, maybe they are going ahead and pushing it forward to take the story further in and go in that franchise even more. But I'm super excited for that, man. To hear that you can play as the whole Bat family, just whew. Like, let's get it, man.
I don't know.
Like,
I was kind of looking forward to a more curated experience. It's been a while since we got a Batman game, Rand. I need you to actually talk up on this one, buddy, because I know you're just as into this as me. And I mean, were you kind of wanting to play as like the whole family, or
no?
I mean, I wasn't. I really wasn't.
No, I thought that was. I thought that was some of the weaker aspects of Arkham Knight was when you kind of teamed up with like Nightwing and Robin to do some of those things. And I can imagine them trying to do like this where games as a service thing, Like play as the family, because then it's like, well, how does the story play out? Because if I'm going through this and I'm Robin, like how does that all play out? Is it,
you think maybe that's just a mode?
I had flashbacks of like
I
had flashbacks of Mary Jane, and Spider-Man. Those sort of side. No.
I will say this as a guy that as a guy that knows the Court of Owls and everything, you can't do the Court of Owls justice if you don't put the Bat family in it. Like that's what I'm gonna say for the story. You can't do it. Like you just fucking can't.
Zocker just spoiled the whole game.
No, I didn't. I didn't spoil shit.
You know how much Zucker loves comic books, but he hasn't seen Joker yet, or Spider-Man.
Zucker loves the comic books, but he hadn't beat Arkham Knight yet. That's for sure.
You know what Zucker did see though? He saw Apex.
I did. See
he saw the respawn screen at Apex.
He saw 49ers.
Yeah, but see what I'm saying is that like the thread of the Court of Owls is really does take the whole family. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
do you think it'll be like sections where like you're playing as each one? Like you won't be able to free roam and do all the missions as one character.
You know what I think it's going to be like? I honestly think that they're going to go the GTA route, and you're going to be able to switch randomly and do main quests for each one. Kind of like how you can switch to Travis or whoever. Like you just switch characters around Gotham.
What do we got? We got Batman. Is Dick still Robin at this point, or is he Nightwing?
I would say he's going to be Nightwing, especially.
I don't give a fuck. I'm with Fonz.
Not Jason Todd. We got Tim Drake as Robin. Is this set after Arkham Knight, or is this like set after Arkham Origins?
I don't know. They don't know when it's set, but I think if it's called Arkham, right? Like I think it's gonna still stay within that same universe.
Are they gonna get rid of that damn building and the name? Because that thing has only been in one game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If it's not Adam West's Batman, I'm out.
Either way, announce the game already, please. Warner Brothers.
I know, but at the end of the day, announce the game. But like, it does have potential to have co-op on top of it. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I want to play co-op. Like, I'd love to play games with my buddies. Like, so if I could play as Batman or as Batgirl or Nightwing or whoever, Red Robin, bitch. I don't care. or Catwoman. Like, I don't care. But it also expands the world.
Hey, Buck Rogers says Court of Owls is one of the best Batman stories there are. Can't wait.
Ever. Yep. Ever.
Yeah. You know what, Zucker? I believe all the hype around Court of Owls, right? It's a more modern story that apparently, according to you, is like an instant classic kind of. But at the end of the day, we're all going to be 80 by the time Warner Brothers unveils this damn thing.
I've been
so
like the lady from
they've been
Titanic.
teasing this bitch for like 8 months, right? They made that tweet, and then they did the where the producer's wearing the shirt and the logo, everyone mashed it up, and then they made another tweet, and then there's some voice actor stuff going on, and then they're I don't know, Rand, like. I know that you're just as big a fan of these games as me. Is it possible that maybe they wouldn't announce it? They wouldn't be tweeting like they are if it wasn't being announced this year. Is it the Video Game Awards or
Video Game Awards?
Video Game Awards is X019 next month.
That's all I can think of.
That sounds plausible, man.
Game Award, I think.
I have a question on what system it's going to be on at this point. I don't know if it's going to be a cross-gen and like they're going to have something ready for. Like the Switch, it's gonna be mobile. Everybody has a phone, like Blizzard, and then we cry. No, I don't know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. Is it gonna be a cross gen, or are they gonna like at this point? Like I think a lot of developers
could it be a Far Cry New Dawn thing where they announced the game at the Game Awards and is out like 3 months later, like how it was for Far Cry New Dawn?
Right,
came out in February.
You mean right when Last of Us releases? Just fuck off.
Well, Last of Us and Ori and all these other games, like more of like a fall game, and it's going to be like cross-gen, like PS5, Xbox,
or maybe it's
Scarlett.
just mobile.
D-Batch,
Maybe. I mean, it will be mobile.
D-Batch,
presumably.
don't bring that evil on this game.
I think it'll come. Don't bring that evil here. I think I don't know, man. I think it'll come out in the summer. Arkham Knight came out in the summer, and it did really fucking well for them. I don't see why they wouldn't do that again. Kind of like, right after E3, here you go. And usually around summertime is that downtime where everybody's looking for something to play.
Yeah, but there's a
That's how
reason
they
why
market
companies
their
don't
games.
release
That's
games during the summer.
I know, but Arkham Knight did it, right?
But they
released it in
didn't
July.
market it like really quickly.
because
though.
Arkham Knight was delayed like twice. It was originally
Yeah.
supposed to
What the
come
fuck
out.
do you think happened to this game? This game's been canceled 75
been
times.
formally, but this game's never been formally announced. Arkham Knight was
Exactly.
announced
Exactly.
coming November or October of 2015, and then they delayed it.
14.
And
Maybe that's why they haven't announced it, because they don't want to deal with that.
But hey, you know
It's
what?
not
Failed
the summer.
Pyromancer says, what about alternate universe Batmans? Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of lore to dive into, but for right now, man, it's been, 4 years this year? By the time it comes out, it might be 5 years since the last Batman game, so I just want a damn Batman game.
Let's say 6.
6? No, I mean, the
Six,
last one
we're
came
getting
out in 2015, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one ain't coming out for another 2 years.
Fonzarelli, he's
Shut up,
doing
Fonz.
that same shit D was doing, trying to ruin everything.
Yeah, ruin all our fun.
Just being.
I'll call the
serious.
Canadian police on you, Fonz.
Yeah, the mounted police.
Pull over.
Hey, I wanted to also bring up Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order real quick. Several
Yes.
outlets have talked about this. They're all talking about it's so much more than I expected. I'm not really sure why. We all kind of knew what it was since the second it was announced. We kind of paid attention to stuff, but they're saying it could be Game of the Year contender.
Saw that too.
Say what?
I saw that too.
Yeah. It's going to be 47 gigabytes on the Xbox One for those that are curious, and we'll have a quality and performance mode. That's confirmed. So you'll have a high frame rate mode. And I'm looking forward to this game, Cold Eastwood. I know you are the same. This is like one of the big ones that are left. Doom got pushed back.
Yeah, it's funny. I was looking at my game schedule for the fall, and Breakpoint went. Grid wasn't all that great, and Doom got moved. I was like, crap! It's Outer Worlds and
Call of Duty and then Star Wars.
and then Star Wars. That's it.
You're still great.
Yeah, I didn't hear about the performance mode. I just saw a lot of 60
Yeah.
frames footage.
Mm.
That's really cool.
Yes.
This game looks really cool. I'm hearing really great things about it, and that's
Man.
good.
I gotta say, Dealer, they held back when they showed gameplay. All that gameplay that they were showing, they weren't showing what they're showing now anyway. All the dismemberment going on and stuff looks really kick-ass.
There is a ton of dismemberment. The only limitations, you can't do it to humans, but you fight a ton of creatures and
You
monsters.
can still stab that lightsaber
And
into
robots.
the chest of a human, and it just goes right in, and they die anyway. So you're gonna get that satisfaction there. But no, I mean, they were showing that little I guess it's kind of a boss scene where he's fighting it, and
Mhm.
he cuts the arm off and the leg, and
There's some really
just
cool finishers in there.
it's some cool stuff, man. This game, I don't know if it's the extra polish they put on it, but the animations even look a little bit cleaner to me. I'm really excited for this game now. Just seeing that extra bit of gameplay has pushed me over. I just think that this is going to be one of the best games this year. I think it's got to be.
Hey,
It's gotta
creative
be.
director too, Stig from God of War 3 creative director, man. God of War 3 was fire, so it is EA, and I won't forget that. But at the end of the day, if I'm going off what I'm seeing and some of the talent there, I would say so far I am hopeful. Brand, is this something you're looking into at all?
You know that one of my games of the year so far is Sekiro.
Uh-huh.
No.
All right.
And Star Wars looks like Sekiro Light. But with a Star Wars setting, they're talking about Uncharted level, like set pieces and stuff like that. Metroidvania aspects to it. It's ticking all the boxes for me, man.
And the actual story you can follow.
Sure, I mean, I guess, the Star Wars stuff. I know a lot of people here don't like Sekiro, but I'm super excited. Even when I did a video earlier this year where I was like, my most anticipated games of the year, my number 2 was the Star Wars game, and we hadn't known anything about it just because Respawn has never let me down. They've never made a bad game.
Mhm.
Titanfall 2, the Call of Duty games, the Medal of Honor games, and just watching
Well,
all
Medal
this
of Honor. Yeah.
honors before they became Infinity Ward and started doing Modern Warfare.
So what you're
that's
trying to
right.
say is it looks good to you?
It looks killer.
Motherfuckers talking shit on my Batman. It ain't that bad. Come on, this is a pretty clean run through. It's not that bad. Everyone's acting like they're perfect players. I ain't played this bitch in 6 months. Come on.
No, you're the best dealer.
I'm up there, all right? I'm up there. I'm on the leaderboard.
You're better than Zachary.
You better wait a minute.
They got a whole bunch of different difficulty settings.
hell,
So
Cole?
if you
Love you,
want
soccer.
if you want the Dark Souls experience, you can have that, like the really tough combat and stuff. And if you just want to play it like normal or easy, you can do that too. So I'm looking forward to like putting that up on hard, like Grandmaster Jedi difficulty, and just tearing through people and having an amazing time. Cannot wait for this game.
Again, you'll be fine.
What was that?
Well, Zucker, I mean, you're just too scared to even go play Sekiro, so
I'm terrified.
That's a good point. You did have access to that game for like months.
He's too scared to even turn on his Xbox. But
Jesus Christ.
Colt in the
no, ain't
background.
that the truth?
I'm just looking for fawns. I never see them on.
Hey, what was I gonna ask Colt? Oh, Colt, you were telling me about the ukulele developer and the fact that there was some rumors going around that
Son of a biscuit.
What?
I swear.
What?
Don't you even bring me into this.
Why not?
What was the question?
So
Ask
basically,
it.
there was this rumor going around that Microsoft are looking at buying this ukulele developer. What do they call it again? Colt Eastwood?
oh, you're getting cold,
Platonic.
man.
Platonic.
So
Here, let me
just so you
finish
guys know, I
this.
want to explain the background of Platonic a little bit. They do currently make ukulele. Those games don't review badly, but they have some of the talent that made Banjo-Kazooie in the past, right? Banjo in the past, and they went and made ukulele, right? So
Xbox needs more of that.
so Colt Eastwood, there's a rumor that they might be looking to maybe purchase that studio. What are your thoughts?
I'm super excited because that means that someone would be able to reboot or bring back Banjo-Kazooie, and that would make me super excited.
So you're just hyped. You're
No,
hyped
I mean
as all
that's kind of thing. Like a ton of Xbox
Got
guys
hit.
are rooting for Banjo-Kazooie to make a return or conquer. And if Microsoft does buy this Platonic Studios, that team would make the game. And knowing my luck, that game would come out before we hear about anything super cool, which is what Xbox really needs to have at the forefront. Like not more games, of the caliber they've already put out. Like they have some retro style games like that. You need something a little different. There's really the one thing Xbox is missing. Show us what Ninja Theory is working on, and then you can announce Banjo-Kazooie Part 2.
Part 2.
Oh, but seriously,
I mean, there's this guy right there in the conquer.
Right, man.
Look, if you want to go back to the 90s, I'll give you some VHS tapes of the Teletubbies I found at the Goodwill. Just go home and watch those. They're great.
Teletubbies is still legit.
You're 100% right, though, Colt. I mean, they do not need to be showing off a new Banjo or games like that because, I mean, this is what the stigma is with Xbox right now, that it's the kiddie console. They're putting nothing but like these kiddie type games and stuff on it. This is being said.
Well, I mean, Nintendo is the kiddie
I just
console.
shoved a shotgun up a guy's ass and blew him up in fucking years.
I understand that, but
Nintendo's the kiddie console, but those games are amazingly well done and well rated and well beloved.
But that's Nintendo. They get away with that stuff. Okay. Xbox and PlayStation apparently, or no, excuse me. Xbox doesn't apparently. They don't get away with this type of game. And especially when they're not putting out anything else that's mature besides Halo and Gears or whatever, they're
like what's 2020's game lineup for Xbox Fonz? There's like three main games.
Halo Infinite. What we got? Maybe a new Forza. And Ori, of course.
Ori, Minecraft Dungeons, and Battletoads.
Yeah, Battletoads. Let's not even bring up Battletoads, man. People that were screaming for that game, I still don't understand till this day. And now the people out there talking about we want Banjo back. Stop it. There's no.
Now imagine Banjo or Conquer made its return in 1 year from now, or in a year and a half from now, like on Scarlett, like first year. Like it's not what Xbox needs. They have to fill that deficit. They do mostly everything better, in my opinion.
Batman's
than
got
the
bulletproof
PS4.
butt cheeks, Colt.
Yeah, he does, and a bulletproof chin too.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll say I don't care. I know it'll make people mad.
I said, fuck you, I got a
but-
bulletproof vest on. Go ahead, Colt.
But listen, Xbox has the best racing games. They have the best shooters. They have the best third-person shooter in Gears. They do some games really well. What they don't do well, and they don't have enough of, is the action-adventure story game, and that's what we need to see first. It'll round out what the Xbox is doing. That's what we need to see, and then you can get your Banjo-Kazooie later.
Well, in either
I just
case,
wanna add to
there's
what
no
Cole
real
said.
win here because everyone's got different opinions, right? So
I know.
it's not what we
And I
want.
rarely give
right?
my
But-
opinion. I mean, I say that because when I do videos, I rarely give my own personal opinion. I want to hear what D has to add to this.
No, I just want to say real quick, I agree 100% with everything you're saying there. They got to concentrate on these AAA titles. That's where the deficit is right now, and that's what you got to address. I understand some of the fans want to see this game, although they are a small minority. You know, if you want to do fan service in the future, like what you were saying, Colt, you know, after we have all these big bangers, then fine, you could set up something where, you know, you have Xbox Summer Arcade, you know, to bring back that old, you know, the arcade games that we used to get in Xbox Game, on Xbox Live, and then do that and bring the Banjo-Kazooies and, you know, these other small little niche titles, I would say. Now, they might be cult classics, but they're niche. People ask for these games, and when they get these games, there's like, you know, 50,000 people that buy it. You know, they have to address the mass market. And right now we need AAA bangers, some good
Blockbuster.
RPGs,
And it's
some
not
good
Crash
games.
Bandicoot. That's the exception. Like Crash Bandicoot was one of the top selling games in 2017, I think, when it was rebooted or when it was remastered.
Yeah, I
but
wouldn't compare Banjo to Crash in terms of like popularity or you know, people don't really know Banjo nearly as much. Now, that's not an insult, and I'm sure you could easily Google numbers to confirm my claim there, but either way, right now, yeah, I think we kind of agree as a whole. I'd like to see more big blockbuster AAA games before. I'd like to see something like Banjo, and maybe they can kind of sprinkle some Banjo in. But in the meantime, just go play a
That's what I
Banjo.
said in my unpopular gaming opinion tweet, dealer.
Well, yeah, we want to restate your unpopular gaming opinion tweet
Yeah,
here.
that Conquer, Banjo, and all the old rare IPs should never come back.
Never?
I'd be fine with it. I'd be fine.
And
Never,
like,
huh?
look, I'm not a fan of those games, and I know people are, and obviously I put that out there as kind
There
of
are
like,
people
to get
that do
people
like it.
to get people triggered, right? Like to get people to be like, oh my god, because when you do something like that, that's what you got to do.
So,
I wouldn't be surprised if Banjo came back.
I think Banjo is going to come back just because it's something that kind of makes sense in a way. Now, I think that when you hear people say, "Oh, Banjo, this and that," and, you know, you got to realize that if a certain type of studio is going to make, you know, Banjo, it's not going to be the Initiative. It's not going to be somebody who's, you know, targeting AAA games.
Be like
It's
a
gonna be somebody
contracted or smaller one. Right?
Yeah, either or they get Playtonic and they purchase Playtonic, you know, stuff like that. For me, the Banjo thing is I do hear a lot of people for a long time say they want that game, and for me personally, I don't expect everyone to have the same type of likes that I do, and I understand that some people might like that game more than people on this panel. I get that. I think people on this panel want the mature, you know, deeply driven type game, single player game. We've been asking for that, but if this game can come out, it doesn't take away from any of the studios in any way. I have no problem with that.
People are asking you to kick me off the panel, bro.
Tim, I agree with what you're saying there. You're right about what you're saying, but they need to announce or at least show games that are of that mature nature before they come out with something like Banjo.
Someone said, "Is Tim on the phone?"
And
yes.
Mute your phone,
and I
Tim.
just want to say that somebody in the chat
No,
said that Banjo was more popular than Crash. No, you were wrong about that. Crash was huge. It's a huge franchise.
Yeah.
Yosemite Blame says, "Don't outsource Banjo. That is too valuable of an IP. Rare needs to hire up and do a Banjo."
If it was really that valuable, they would have already made several more of them by now.
Yeah, has already said they have no interest in revisiting their old IPs.
Right.
And I don't.
Yeah.
If a new Banjo does get made, it won't be made by Rare.
You're looking at a
Rare's-
different Rare now going, especially after Sea of Thieves. They've got a second
Hell
team
yeah.
now. They've hired on those teams. Rare is trying to up the level of games that they make. Sea of Thieves was something that was an unfortunate thing. It had so much potential over what it is now. But going forward, I think they don't want that again. Rare do not want that again. So I think they're going to go above anything any Banjo could ever be. They're going to try to make different types of games where you can play with your friends. And the next one that we kind of heard about behind the scenes, it sounded kind of interesting. So at the end of the day, I mean, no one's going to agree with everything, but that's just one party. We're not sitting there acting like nobody wants Banjo. We're just telling you why maybe some of us don't. Some of you do. That's great.
No, it's just that we're making a case that Xbox needs to show some better games before Banjo. That's all.
Yes.
What is this?
I like Colt. Yes.
Yes.
X Initiative in the super chat says, "Did you guys catch Moon Studios interview about making BL?" What is it? What's am I?
What's BL? What's BS?
Moon Studios makes Ori.
Yeah.
But apparently they've got a project they didn't announce.
They do have a project that they haven't announced, and they haven't announced who is publishing it either. So it could be a Microsoft game, or it could be multi-platform. It could be
That's
with somebody else. But yeah,
that's true. Keep in mind, Microsoft don't own Moon Studios, so they could.
Yeah.
You know,
They should buy
Did
them.
Microsoft confirm that Will-O-the-Wisp is going to stay on Xbox platform?
Not
I feel like I heard that.
necessarily.
Rand would
they
know.
did. They said at launch it would be only on their platform. So it's weird because I think that's what Greenberg said, and he used like at launch.
Right.
If it went to the Switch at some point down the road.
Yeah.
Like the other one.
Okay, well, again, we gotta move forward here. Rand, real quick, I need you to talk about these Gears of War characters and some of the fuckery going on with this game because, again, if we don't like something, we're gonna kind of talk about it and let you guys know. But there are some new characters in Gears of War. Randall Thor has all of it in his brain, and we need him to break it all down here in a minute or two.
Last week, they released a bunch of new characters that you can grind for to unlock for free or pay for with Iron. You got Cog Hero, you have the Warden, you have the DB, and you have
Cog Janitor.
General Ram, right? So no Carmines. Hero. It's like Cog Gear or whatever it is. I don't know. Each of them have like different abilities and like escape or horde and stuff like that. Now, the interesting thing here is that there's like a new way to unlock this stuff, right? You have to equip a totem for the character that you want to unlock, and only one totem can be active at a time, right? So to track your progress. And to unlock the character, you got to earn 60,000 XP in Versus Horde or Escape. You got to complete 40 rounds of Versus. You got to survive 50 waves of Horde.
Whoa.
And you got to escape 18 acts of Escape. But then each character has a unique objective that you have to complete. So, for instance, the Cog hero you have to get 200 assists as a Cog team character in Versus Horde or Escape.
Jeez.
And if you want to play as General Ram, you got to execute 30 Cog characters as a Swarm character. But you still have to complete each one of those individual objectives every single time for the character, as the totem only works for one. And
So you telling me I gotta get 700 headshots. I gotta run for 400 miles. I gotta execute and curb stomp 300 Cog Janitors, and of course, pistol whip 7 Marcus Phoenixes to unlock General Ram.
Yeah. So essentially, but you don't have to do all that, because you can just give them 500 iron and unlock the character immediately. Now,
Which is $20 or what?
No.
Damn.
No,
that's $5.
20
No,
bucks.
it's
He said, "Fuck it, I'm going for 20."
I heard them say 20, but I think that was like the banners and all
I think
the
that's the
weapons.
That was
character
the
pack,
Terminator,
right?
That's the Terminator
Okay.
pack.
Yeah.
They say on their website that they estimate that it'll take 10 hours per character to unlock. So there's 5 new characters, so they estimate 50 hours to unlock. Less if you're, good, essentially. The new Terminator character pack, which is the evil Terminator from the new movie, as well as the other female kind of human Terminator. That is only available to buy, and it's $20. And I don't know about you guys, but I kind of find the idea of paying to be an advertisement, paying to be a walking advertisement to other people for a movie just to be a little weird. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
But you are. If you
I don't like seeing that little
like
metal fucking robot fly around the battlefield either. It's just weird. Seeing the T-800 run around the battlefield, it's just odd to me. I don't feel like it.
The lore.
I don't know, man.
I know Reddit. Like, if you go look on Reddit for the Gears, like people, like the people who are still playing, there's like a war going on. They absolutely hate what the Coalition is doing. Not to mention, like every single day I log on, I see there's still errors that they're trying to get rid of. So I feel for the people who love the multiplayer of this game and feel like the way everything isn't right.
It is off-putting. It don't belong in the universe.
Oh,
The lore.
what do you think about it, Dealer?
I mean, I don't like how grindy that is myself. I don't think people understand how long that is to unlock a character.
Just the 50 waves alone. How long does it take to do 50 waves?
You have to do 50 ways for each character, and there's like 5 new characters.
And that's probably the least amount of time you got to take, honestly.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. And as you pointed out, the Coalition were saying people be proud of how they found out how to do these kind of character transactions, and I don't think that's quite the way I would reduce that grind. And the people that don't want to grind at all, they're going to buy the shit anyway. It could take you 2-3 hours, 10 hours. They say 10 hours, but it seems like a lot more. 5 hours to do it. If you don't want to grind, you're going to pay the $4 anyway. So I would just lower that requirement. Something tells me they may end up doing that. And the people who want to buy it will buy it regardless.
Rod did say that all of this is a work in progress and they're changing it as they go along. But I mean, if you're already hearing an outcry, you need to fix it right now. Like they should be working on a fix now.
Yeah.
Not once everyone spends a bunch of money.
And they very well may. And that's the difference between, pointing something out, offering constructive criticism, and just ragging on something and using it to try to crush a fucking plastic box or a brand. We're just putting it out there. A lot of you guys have issues with this stuff. I don't approve of this kind of stuff either. And I'd like them to dial some of that back, but am I fucking hating on Gears? No, not really.
I'll give you guys a piece of advice too. If you'd like to hear your feedback heard from somebody like the Coalition, you say something on social media or you leave feedback and you be constructive, but people who make massive chronic posts about how crappy the Coalition is and disparage them, your voice is going to be ignored. And it's important to give some actual feedback and be smart about it. These people are developers, and Coalition needs to be better about what they're doing, because all of the DLC, all the expanded content's free. The cosmetic stuff, which I personally don't care about, is the pay stuff.
Well, OtherSync says it doesn't take that damn long, but if it didn't take that damn long, there wouldn't be thousands of people complaining about it on their forum. So at the end of the day, even if you disagree with me, OtherSync, it's okay to do that, and there's no need to try to correct my opinion on it, because mine's not going to change.
The Coalition's the one who's saying it was 10 hours. They have it on their website.
Well, Rand, how long does it take to go through 50 waves?
Probably a couple hours.
Yeah, it takes at least an hour and a half.
Requirement? Is there a difficulty requirement?
No, it doesn't seem like there's a difficulty.
Okay, so if you do like literally 50
Rumple
ways
Foreskin in the super chat.
Like in an hour.
It's not a show without Rumple Foreskin.
Rumple.
I just don't understand why Coalition and even Rare and a lot of these guys that do these cosmetic stuff, why they have to be so expensive with it. I would, if I were doing something like that, I would make it very fair priced, or even to the point where you get a lot and you spend a decent amount of money. I think you get more traction that way than like these stupid $7 or whatever. How I saw some of the pricing.
It's like 15 to $20 for some of these.
15, skins, yeah. Why shouldn't that should be $3?
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't care because cosmetics. I get that, but I guess if you're kind of a principle of the matter kind of guy, I think it would be a little bit. It would make Coalition look better to drop these skins to maybe $5 to $7. more people would buy it. You'd make up the difference in revenue, and less
Exactly, and
people
you
would be
look
complaining
good.
about it. You know,
Make up the difference in revenue. I mean, what is it really costing them to make these little skins anyway?
I'm saying
Not
if you sold X amount of the $20, you know, the cheaper one will sell more. Obviously, you'd probably make about the same.
You know, the same thing goes for like with the grinding in Sea of Thieves, like, and certain things, like, you know, you grind and you go through like 3 missions and you get like a stupid skull. Like they should be more rewarding.
You're playing
and,
Sea of Thieves wrong.
well, you know,
I just, I don't think
Zucker's
it
like,
should
I
be
just go out
free
and
at all.
assault
I
people.
think
I
it should
just, you know, I
be
kill
free
everything.
in game, and that's it. You know.
but I just think they should just be more generous, or just in a way,
Yeah, the
you
price.
know, like, you know, in
It's
the
common
price.
sense.
or
Hey,
even-
Others
even
Inc., keep in mind,
grinding,
I've seen your game
it's
score,
easier.
Others Inc. Don't start talking that shit.
I think this is something where kind of greed gets in the way. Like I understand it, you know, get your money, whatever, right? But at the same time, you got to be fair to the consumer. $20 is a steep price. If these were like a dollar, $2 a piece, I think that'd be reasonable, and I think they'd actually sell a whole lot more at that price.
That's the problem, D. Is on the outside, it's obviously not reasonable of a price at all, and they should know better. They should know that 5 is too steep for a different looking character. That, you know, I don't know. They gave us Batista for free. They gave us.
Oh boy.
I want to call her Mark Hamill because
I mean, they are updating all the maps and stuff for free too, which you
Yeah.
got to take into account. So again, we're not just ragging on the fucking game. It's just an opinion on, you know, what we
Okay,
would
but-
like to see change.
All right, so if they're giving out a whole bunch of stuff for free and they're trying to make something on the side with these skins, that, you know, you make them all $1, because what's going to happen if you sell them all for $1? You're going to get a lot more people buying that dollar.
Bonds is
skin,
like everything should be $1. New cars, new houses, fuck it.
Opposed to, you know, a few people paying $20. I mean, you're going to get a lot more people paying at a cheaper price. I mean, it's basic logic.
I think
man.
they figured out their microtransaction audience
on here
is what it is.
actually? How many of us actually on here have bought microtransactions in a game?
I never have.
Uh,
I have years ago, and I learned my lesson.
So in the last 7
I bought a
years,
Pegasus.
I want to say you bought a you did.
Yeah, D-Lo
One of
did
the
buy a
best
Pegasus.
games
But I
ever
loved
made.
that game. Like it had 200
Yeah,
hours of
exactly.
awesome content.
Yeah, so like, okay, so you bought a Pegasus. For me, it was honestly, I bought the Batmobile in fucking Rocket League, and it was $2 on sale. Like, or it was like $1.50 on sale. So like, that's the way I kind of look at it. Like, I think $20 is way too fucking much. I think they could bring it down, but I don't think they could bring it down for $1. I think they could bring it down to like maybe like dealer said, $4 to $5, and then when you have like a weekend sale on skins, you could drop it down to $2 or $1.50 and get like a shit ton of money from that way.
Give
But
me
I
like a
think
Phil
what they're doing
Spencer
is a little
skin
too
for
much.
like $5.
Hell yeah, dude.
Shit,
I'll
that's
take a Mike. I'll take a Mike Ybarra one, but a real Mike Ybarra.
A real
But
Mike
I just
Ybarra.
a real Mike Ybarra, yeah, with a little wrench on his name and everything. But I don't know. I think that the microtransactions, like, I think only a certain type of people buy it, certain type of gamer. I don't buy microtransactions, so I don't complain about it because I don't care. As long as it doesn't change my game like Star Wars did, where it really affected the gameplay, I could give 2 flying fucks, to be honest.
2.
I don't care about
That's a
cosmetic
fancy
stuff.
type of fuck too.
2.
It is a fancy type
What
of
about
fuck, man.
3?
Well, hey, you know what?
Well, that's just
we
too much.
gotta move forward. Gotta move
If we're
forward.
going to 3, we're talking Death Stranding. No,
Gee, hey, by the way, I did want to throw this out there. And people can hate if they want, but you hear what you hear. And I did want to throw this out there about Death Stranding. We've kind of heard from 2 different people that are reviewing the game right now. That and again, this could be. I was hearing from people about Spider-Man too. One of them told me it was a 7 while he was in the middle of playing it, and when he released his review, I saw he gave it a 9. So things could change. But right now, from 2 different people, they're saying that the game is so boring that they don't even want to keep playing it. So maybe they'll hit that 50% mark or whatever. Apparently, Kojima never said that, but everyone reported that he did. That 50% of the way through it picks up. I don't know, but that's just what 2 different people reviewing the game are saying. That it is extremely boring, and perhaps Sony did release the embargo with more confidence, Rand. Or, I mean, what are your thoughts about Death Stranding? What do you think it's going to do now?
Sony, like, you can always judge what they think or the confidence they have in the title and how it's going to review based on how far away the review embargo is from the actual game. So they have confidence that Death Stranding is going to review incredibly well. Days Gone was the day of for a reason because they knew it wasn't going to review well. Concrete Genie, day of, and that's at a 75, which, great scores, right? But yeah, I don't know. Like, if what you're hearing is true,
NASCAR, don't tell everyone who Batman is. Jeez.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck, dude?
I mean, Kojima kind of did say that it's going to take a little bit of time to get going, and I will say the first 10 hours of Days Gone were pretty bad. I almost dropped the game. You were one of the people that convinced me to keep on playing it because I was about to
I
give
didn't
up.
think they were bad. It just got super good after 10 hours.
Boring. It was bad and boring.
No. It was 18 hours.
I liked the gameplay.
I like Turtles.
I did too, Vons. I liked how it handled. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved the frame drops.
Cole, how can you be an Xbox fan?
Please come over
I was
here, Cole.
I was on PlayStation Legion on Sunday with JTech TV and a bunch of the guys on his podcast, and we were talking about Death Stranding, and I was telling them about what I like, how it's one of those top looking games this generation. They're like, how can you be an Xbox fan? They were pretty funny. They had a good time with it. But yeah, it does look good. But Kojima said 25 hours in is when it finally hits its stride.
That's entirely too long for a game that looks dry and boring. I'm sorry. When you look at a game like Days Gone or you play it, you see that there's a gameplay loop there that can be fun. You're chasing those zombies, you're destroying nests, all that good stuff. But with Death Stranding, you're walking around, literally just walking around collecting packages.
Before the hate train begins again on Death Stranding, Foreskin has, and again, this is why I prefaced everything that I said with, hey, I talked to a guy who told me Spider-Man was a 7, and then I watched his review, and he ended up thinking it was a 9. So this could change. But he says, okay, so 2 people out of how many could be disgruntled employees making something out of nothing, stuff like that. You're right, Rumple Foreskin. Absolutely.
True.
And
when is the embargo lift?
I wholeheartedly believe that this game is gonna review very, very well. I think this is gonna be up for Game of the Year, and I personally think it's gonna win Game of the Year. And that's just my opinion. I think there's a lot of blinded folks by Kojima out there. Period. A lot of Kojima nuts.
The entire plot of the game and everything leaked today too, by the way.
And how bad is it?
So look at it because I kind of want to experience the game for himself, but I'm just saying someone who does have a review copy basically posted all the spoilers and the story beats. So
Norman Reedus is really a seal.
He's really seal?
He's really, he's like, we're never gonna survive. We're gonna crazy. His favorite song.
Right. Weird. But no, I mean, it's one of those games that, it's going to review well, it just is.
Wait a minute. Double M says, wow, group of Xbox guys hating on PlayStation exclusive. Anyone's surprise? Excuse me?
I just finished telling you, Vons and I just finished saying it'll probably get Game of the Year, and it's one of the best.
Well, dealer said was what 2 people told him. Yeah. It blows, yeah, I don't know, like how many times, like even for me, it's like I think God of War is one of the games of the generation. I think Spider-Man is. I think God of War is the best game of the generation. Uncharted 4 was incredible. I've done nothing but praise those games. The ones I've found good.
You don't even have to say that stuff. I mean,
no, I do because these people, the people like this, but people like this that come into the podcast,
who was
it?
Hear,
scroll up a little bit. Double M.
Double M. How many L's? I mean, I think you've taken several L's in the show. But maybe there's another. Maybe you got a doppelganger. But at the end of the day, every time, no, it is Double M. You've fucking gotten destroyed before about this stuff. All you got to do is just listen. I prefaced it twice. It's not
like
hard.
Ernie says, that's how dumb people are. They hear what they want to hear. Exactly.
Yeah.
Double M, enjoy Double L.
If I play Death Stranding and I play it and I think it's a turd, I'm going to say it's a turd. And if I think it's great, it's because I think it's great. It has nothing to do with what platform it's on. That's pathetic. And if you think like that, you're pathetic.
Oh shit.
Exactly. It doesn't matter where it doesn't matter where Kojima is for me.
You're pathetic.
You're fucking pathetic.
He goes, okay, for me. I don't like Kojima games. I think he's just incoherent when he makes it. Like, I don't know if he's drunk or what when he makes his games or high, but they're just too weird for me.
Yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get into another Fonzarelli Kojima rant.
Well, yeah, I'm just telling it like it is. He's overrated. And if people don't like doing that, so what?
I have a coworker who's strictly a PC fan. He won't play anything on console, and he saw that. He's like, "Did you see that Death Stranding thing?" I was like, "Yeah, it's interesting." He's like, "What the heck is that guy on? Like, why does he make movies?" And I go, "Well, I think he should, because he tries to make the most cinematic games ever." And he's like, "Just like, what's going on with that? Like, there's ghosts walking around and oily seals climbing in, a little baby attached to him." And it was kind of weird hearing it from someone who doesn't talk about console gaming very often.
It's more like what's going on with the show. Like 1,100 people are sticking around, unless this is glitched. Like I just refreshed it, right? 1,100 people.
Crazy.
1,100 people still stick around, listen to us talk about magic babies and delivering packages. So
Dude, that's what happens when you have the most talented D-Batch in here, dude.
D-Batch!
Fucking come out.
Come on, D, sing us a little seal song.
Huh?
Come on, do us a little number.
Hey, no, we don't got time for this. All right, I don't know about you guys, but we gotta get moving. But I will say, to
Put
everyone,
one in the chat if you want D to
Some
sing.
of us actually got to play games. You know what I mean?
yeah, we gotta play games and stuff like that. But I do want to say to everyone checking us out, hit that like button, guys. Let's boost up the like ratio even more. I'm sure we'll get some haters, and that's kind of the counter to all that. Also, share this out if you can. Hit that notification bell if you haven't. And of course, let's move on to a much better topic, in my opinion. And we can start with not only the fact that there was a dev kit photo of the PS5 put up on Twitter, and people continue to talk about this thing, and they think that for some reason it's going to look like this. It won't look like this. I mean, really, I don't think it'll look like this at all. But Digital Foundry also did a test with the Scarlett PS5 specs, or what they think it will have. And this is going to be a good discussion for me and D and anybody that's kind of tech-minded in here. But they did benchmark some things, including RX 5700 and 5700 XT, along with Ryzen 7 3700X, 8-core 16 threads. Sony did confirm that on their Japanese website. So expect these next-gen consoles to actually have 16 threads. The thread count for PS5 has actually been confirmed on their Japanese website. So Microsoft are following suit. Now, D and I talked about this in videos. We have our own takes on maybe what some of this might mean or what kind of performance you can expect where. And, even though we might disagree, it's perfectly fine. And that's kind of how, we're buddies. And same for all you guys in the chat. We might disagree on some things, but that don't mean that we're fucking, enemies or anything. So, D-Batch, kind of give me your gist of this whole build that they did, the benchmarking, and some of the things you noted from that that you kind of like to get across to the chat.
Wait, can I just say something really quick before D starts? I got to tell you something, D.
Kojima sucks.
Just remember, D, 4K Switch.
Oh, stop it.
Go ahead.
Come on,
Okay,
D.
so-
Come on, D.
So pretty much based on what we know it's going to have a Navi GPU. Both companies have confirmed that. AMD's come out and confirmed that. Now they're basing it off the Navi GPU that's out in the market right now, which is the 5700 and the 5700 XT. So they did a benchmark with those GPUs, and being an 8-core 16-thread Zen 2 CPU, it's obviously based off a 3700X.
Hey, one sec, D. Sorry, Tim. I think Tim has to drop out. Is that true, Tim?
Yes.
Is he still in here?
He already
I think
dropped
he just
out.
left.
Oh wow, he
bailed.
just bailed. He said, "Fuck y'all," farted and left. All right. Well, shout out to Tim. This is a long show, guys. Tim had to go, but again, shout out to Tim. Find him at xCloud Tim Dog on Twitter. You can also find his Twitter handle in that scrolling text at the top of the screen. So go ahead, D.
Yeah, so and they also based the CPU that we know is going to be 8-core 16-thread. Dealer just told you. I did a video last week as well. This has been confirmed, so this is going to be in the consoles. Microsoft is going to follow suit, but we know Sony has confirmed this. So they got a 3700X, and they downclocked it to 3.2 gigahertz. Now, a 3700, some people think maybe a 3700 is not going to be in the consoles. It will be in the consoles. They'll just be a lower bin 3700X. So when they're testing their chips, there's some chips that don't quite get up to 4.4 gigahertz boost, or they don't get up to 3.9 gigahertz, but they do 3.7, they do 3.6 fine.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll repurpose these chiplets or these CPUs into the whatever they're building for these consoles, and they'll repurpose it. And when they do that, it doesn't need as much power. Now, if you're running at 3.2 gigahertz, what it's rumored to be running at, you don't need.
Let's start with the overall, because there's people that didn't see this. So maybe tell them what Digital Foundry are saying, what their findings are, and what they can expect with next generation games.
Well, Okay, well on the CPU side, they found it to be at least 7 times more powerful than the current generation.
Over
And the
base
metrics that
PS4.
off the base PS4. And they were basically getting 4K 60 frames per second in these games. They were getting 1440p. Some games they were getting over 150 frames per second. Let's just say they would cap it at 120. Basically, the next generation consoles are going to be capable of doing 1440p, 120 frames per second, 4K 60 frames per second, based on what we know, based on the RX 5700. And to be honest with you guys, I don't think it's going to be an RX 700 because the next generation consoles have confirmed ray tracing on it, hardware ray tracing. And if we look at AMD's roadmap on their slides, that comes with RDNA 2 GPUs. Now we're going to assume that RDNA 2 GPUs are more powerful than first generation, the 5700. So I think we're going to even see better performance. But at the very least, if we get the same performance of the 5700, it's going to be glorious for the next generation. And of course, there's the solid state drive that they're going to implement to it. They're going to put certain assets into it. They're going to use it as a cache. Things are going to be loading a lot quicker. And because all of these consoles are going to have these solid state drives running in the systems, and they're going to be using the bandwidth of PCIe 4.0, so it's got a lot of, I believe, double the bandwidth of PCI 3. So they're going to be able to utilize this in every single console, and it's going to be optimized, and you're just going to get some amazing games. I don't think we're going to see, how you see some of the assets loading in. I don't think that's going to be a problem next generation. They're going to have access to what they need like almost instantly, and it's exciting, man.
You know what's funny? Digital Foundry talked about some things that wouldn't be on PC, right? They would be in these systems. And we were talking about stuff like hearing stuff like this months and months ago. And Digital Foundry say it, and none of these little PC fuckboys that talked about us saying it said anything about it. Secondly, when they're talking about 3700X, I don't have a problem with that claim. Like in my video, I say clearly, I understand why they use 3700X from an architectural standpoint. 7 nanometer been confirmed, Zen 2 been confirmed, blah, blah, blah. Might even be some kind of additional features baked in as well. But for them to act like it'll be as close to a 3700X, which is a $340 CPU, I do believe right now, as they did without as many disclaimers or without focusing on why there might be a bigger difference, I didn't approve of that. That was my issue with that. Anybody watch my video knows that. So it's not the 3700X. It's the fact that they didn't really clarify that there is going to be a difference. I don't think it'll be as quick, even at the same clock and power as the desktop variant. I do think that Microsoft for saying, hey, look, our next gen Xbox, they've already confirmed this. It's the CPU is 4 times faster than the Xbox One X CPU. They've already talked about this. If we go by Digital Foundry's math, which is perfect scaling, that puts it at 1400 something on the score chart, whereas the Zen 2 they had on their chart was over 1700. So that shows a bit of a difference in discrepancy as well. I'm just saying I don't think they'll be quite the same, though we all know that it'll be a similar, obviously, setup on the core and the thread and obviously the architecture.
And this is where you and I differ on our opinions here, because I'm under impression that, first of all, with these being refocused or repurposed lower bin 3700s, it's going to be cheaper, first of all. So it's not going to be the same price as well. When these consoles are coming out in 2020, Zen 2 is going to be old news. We're going to be on to Zen 3. They're going to be on to their next CPU. So once again, it's going to take a price cut.
Are they going straight to Zen 3, or are they doing Zen 2 Plus or anything?
Or Zen 2 Plus, whatever. Yeah. But they're going to be on a next iteration of their. So these are definitely going to be cheaper.
Yeah, I know the price isn't really going to be as big a deal. It never really is when it comes to the console stuff.
As well, when you're running it at 3.2, it's not really going to make a difference that it doesn't have the same power, because once again, at 3.2, you don't need the same power as the rated 3700X at 4.4 gigahertz. So it's gonna run the same. And I'm just gonna be safe, but I would even go as far to say it might even run better, because they're gonna have some optimizations in there that the current gen doesn't have because they're customizing it. So I don't know if it's going to be cache, if the way they're implementing the solid state drive on the PCI 4.0. But I think it'll be just as fast. I don't think it'll be slower for sure. And that's
I understand why
it.
you're saying everything you're saying, right? I'm just going at it from a more conservative viewpoint, just because of the history of what's happened with these consoles. I'm just going with my instincts on it, as I always have, right? So I just think that the desktop class CPU might have more cache or something else than the console stuff. And in a way, if you put them next to each other, I don't think that the APU variant is going to be quite as quick. I think the price will obviously be manageable. I think that these things are going to be extremely fast. I think people are going to get their fucking minds blown. I get tired of hearing PC guys say, well, that's all the speed it's got. It's only like a 5700 XT or a RTX 2070 is what I'm guessing. That's annoying because if you're on PC, what did you expect? Did you expect 2080 Ti performance here? Is that the only way you're going to be blown away by this thing?
$500.
Yeah, that's like $1,000 graphics card right there. So I find it interesting that people are disappointed by something like 2070 performance, is what I'm going to guess with. Some might say more.
Dealer? Not to cut you off, I just want to say this real quick. I don't think it's going to be 2070 performance once again, because we're going to be basing this off of the Navi architecture, and the 5700 is already more powerful than a 2070 for starters. Also, too, I personally
it depends on the title. 2070 stomps it in a lot.
No, it beats 2070 across the board. It doesn't beat 2080 across the board.
No, that's the XT you're thinking of, D-Batch.
Okay, maybe the XT. Yes,
you
you're
fucking
right.
fraud.
Yeah. The XT.
What, the 5700 XT?
Yeah, the 5700.
But
XT,
yeah, but they were showing both of them,
yeah,
right?
They were.
Yeah, they were showing both.
Now, were they showing both of them, D, because they assume one is going to be at the level of 5700 and the other is going to be the XT?
You also got to remember, too, inside the console, once again, we're going to have optimization where they're going to get more juice out of it. Yeah. And once again, I think you only need really 2080 performance or 2080 like performance to get 4K 60. There's a lot of settings on PC games that really don't do too much visually, but they're quite taxing. And once again, when you know that everybody has the exact same hardware in their console, in the machine, that you're only working with one configuration, the optimization is on a different level.
And you sound like me from my last video. I mean, I said all this. I mean, trust me, I completely agree. But I will not tell myself that I'm getting 2080 performance in a console. Not happening.
And you're also not getting the full-fledged freaking ray tracing you see on some
you're getting
either.
You're getting some optimized
a rudimentary form of it.
That's true. The plus is that we will be getting a second generation ray tracing for sure, because the ray tracing that AMD is coming out with is going to have to compete with the second generation ray tracing from NVIDIA. And I do believe that second generation is going to be better than the first, obviously. And I think AMD, they kind of made a point that why they didn't bring ray tracing, they wanted it to have a widespread support. And look what developers have done with these consoles.
Yeah, once consoles adopt it, like that, it's going everywhere.
Let's keep in mind that it'll be a pared back ray tracing setting, like a medium setting.
Yeah,
it'll be probably lower and low.
It's gonna be a low. I think it'll be a low.
I mean, low on PC is really good, and
well, I wasn't done. I wasn't done. What it's going to be a lower paired back ray tracing setting on a console, which is probably where most of the PC guys with ray tracing hardware are setting their games to keep performance and visuals where they want.
Yeah.
So for PC guys, especially next generation, I think D was getting to this. It's going to be very difficult for PC guys to be authentic about how these consoles aren't up to snuff for gaming. Like, we're going to have high performance. We're going to have some of the more visual niceties, even dynamic resolution. Next generation will be a thing to be happy about with high frame rates.
That's the thing, Colt, like reprojections and all these different new forms of temporal injection and checkerboarding. And I mean, Gears looks insane. So you're going to have a really high resolutions, a lot of it reconstructed as well. And that stuff's getting so good that it's really hard to see.
And I think because I was told it was fake 4K and it didn't look good.
I think the reconstruction stuff is really going to be at play with the ray tracing games, because at the raw power that we're looking at thus far, from what we know, 4K 60 really shouldn't be a problem in the majority of games, to be honest. I think we're going to see the dynamic stuff more with the ray tracing titles, like the more demanding AAA ones.
Colt, I think we're going to see at least 9 tessellations, man.
Oh yeah, I mean with the bokeh depth of field alone, we're gonna games are gonna be cool and stuff and whatnot.
All right. Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, while we disagree, again, it's okay. It's perfectly fine to do so. So it'll be very interesting to see how that stuff turns out.
Nope.
I can't believe 1,000 people sat through that. A lot of people don't care for that tech stuff. So, Zalker, you got any thoughts on any of this stuff real quick? And Rand died, and it's time to go.
I got a question. I got a question.
Yeah.
Rand, he asked me. Keep your mouth shut.
I don't care. I got a question.
He's pulling rank. Go ahead, Rand.
Question. I had people telling me that Scarlett's barely going to be better than the X.
Okay, well, those people don't know what they're talking about. Next.
Okay. So they're frauds.
They don't. I mean, you literally know nothing about the system. So, I mean, if anybody says that,
there's no reason to upgrade. If you,
I mean, you're talking double. So don't ever get a better graphics card on the PC. Don't ever upgrade anything in your computer, because not only does Scarlett upgrade literally every single part of the console, but you're talking Quantum Leap CPU, you're talking twice as quick on the GPU, you're talking SSD, you're talking really quick memory as well. I mean, if you don't think it's worth upgrading, then don't upgrade. But if you upgrade it to an Xbox One X and you're saying the Scarlett's not worth an upgrade, you're obviously clueless.
For 60 frames alone, it's worth the upgrade.
Give me that 60, bitch. Zalker.
I mean,
now let me ask you guys, a lot of the console guys, because I play predominantly on PC,
Fuck you,
so
Zalker.
of course I get my 60 frames per second.
Soccer. He doesn't need
just
to
like
talk.
soccer.
But console guys, were you not impressed with Gears of War and seeing it in 60 frames per second at that high resolution? Now imagine that on the Xbox Scarlett.
Open world games.
With the majority of your AAA games, with like 90% of them.
Zalker, what do you got to say?
I'm fucking excited. Anybody else got anything to say, or am I going to get interrupted? No, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to just seeing what they're going to do. I think that in the next couple months, we're going to figure out what the hell's actually happening, obviously. But I want to see what ray tracing does. I want to see what these consoles can do. And the 60 is cool. And they've also even hinted at 120 and all 120 frames and 8K. All we know is that it's future proof. That these consoles are going to be future proof. If you don't think upgrading is like worth it, then I hope you're still playing on your VCR Xbox One, because it's not worth it, right? Like, you can't, like, I don't know. Like, I built a new PC, obviously. Dealer has an amazing PC, and that's just what you do. You keep upgrading to get better performance, better everything. It's just going to be better. That's what people don't understand. Until you see it, like we said, in a big open world game. Imagine playing Odyssey at like 60 frames, 4K native. Like, fuck me.
1440p likely or something like Odyssey. But
yeah, and imagine Red Dead, like if it was an actual good game with like actual HDR. Like, can you imagine like how good it would look?
It's fucked up.
You know what? I don't usually do this, but fuck you, Zach.
Usually, it's like a daily occurrence.
Hey, yeah, I mean, if you're not excited, if you really feel compelled to tell people that there's not really a difference and you're not getting it, and like, why even say it? Just mind your own fuckhole and let people know what they're talking about. Actually, talk about it. Same for ray tracing and stuff. So we got to end the show. I got to cut you off. We got to end the show. Got to end it. Yeah, I mean, wrap it up. 30. Wrap that gabble up, B. 30 seconds.
I never wrap it up, boy.
All right, anyways. That's disgusting.
How do you think D came into existence?
Okay.
I'm joking.
You're really making this awkward. Come on.
All right. So, anyways, the thing that Xbox has talked about is that they've worked with a lot of their first-party developers and third-party developers. That's the biggest thing, is that they're going to make this easy to develop for, much like the X, and it's something that they didn't do with the Xbox One when it first came out. There you go.
All right. Chat, thanks for rocking out with us. Probably, how long is this damn show?
Over 2 hours.
One of our longer shows. I think we had a 2-hour, 30-minute show one time. But yeah, this is one of the longest. Thank you all for rocking out with us. We do appreciate it, guys. Hit that like button on your way out. Let's blast past 600, and of course, well over 1,000 after the fact. Share this out for us. I do want to say thanks to the patrons, the guys' names who are scrolling above. There's Twitter links up there if you want to follow anybody here. From there, you can go to their Twitter profile and follow them on YouTube, and so much more. Also, check out the Patreon link down below if you want it to be shouted out during the show, or obviously support the channel. Get your name on the scroll thing. I am so exhausted right now. There's also a merch link down below. I'll be peddling that for a while. So if you want to get an RDX shirt for $15, we made sure it's as affordable as possible. Check out Colt's merch as well. Same thing over there, man. So again, thank you guys for everything you do. Let us know what your thoughts are about the show after it posts. Leave a comment, and I'll try to get back to those. But Colt Eastwood, man, I know it's been a long show. How you been? Where you been playing? Where can people find you?
I've been playing Grid like nonstop.
I felt the rest of his soul leave his body when he said that.
There's like 300 races. There's no progression, no tuning, no motivation. It's just racing.
Can you at least paint your car?
You can do vinyls and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could change the liveries. Also, I am playing Gears 3 because I didn't finish it last generation because my disc stop was all scratched up. So yeah, I've been playing that, and I'm on a new TV, so I'm kind of anxious to play everything on it. And you can find me at Colt Eastwood on Twitter, Xbox, Instagram, PlayStation, Steam at Colt Eastwood 99, and on Dealer's podcast called RDX Podcast every Tuesday night.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
And I wrote a little rap. I'm gonna recite a little rap.
Shit!
I'm just kidding.
Let's not go there.
Also, let us know what you think of the overlay in the comments as well. Any feedback on that? I will probably have some more stuff put in the bottom and stuff. But yeah, it's better than what it was, man. Shout out to Sean Labrie. A lot of good work there.
Even the gun overlaps the screen there. I like that, and it's like
it's cool. I just want to see like a outline around the video box, which would be really nice.
Yeah. I'll probably. That's one thing I was going to reach out to him for.
Cool.
D-Batch, brother, what have you been playing? Where can people find you?
I fired up SmackDown 2K20. It's full of fucking bugs, man. Wait for day one patch. It was supposed to be a day one patch. I think it's delayed till next week. Yeah, that
day 14 patch.
Yeah, that game's pretty glitchy. I'm looking forward to the games coming out this week, though. Outer World, Call of Duty. Fuck, it's gonna be a good week for gaming, man. You guys can catch me on Twitter at D_batch, and of course on YouTube at DBatch.
Yeah, check D out. He released a video on all the tech stuff as well. Fonzarelli, where can people find you? What you been playing, bro?
Hey, they can find me on Twitter at jfonzarelli, or they can find me on YouTube at The Grounded Gamer. And yeah, I've been playing Destiny 2. It's my game. It's my filler between big games that come out. I can't wait for that game, Outer Worlds, this weekend. That's going to be fun. And I think the overlay looks great. So that's a good thing. And I want to tell everybody to go buy an RDX coffee mug, damn it, from hell, man. Those RDX mugs, awesome.
$13, man. Yeah, we lowered a lot of the prices, and like they're suggesting like, oh, you want to make this mug? Like, no, that's too much for a mug, you idiots. So yeah, we made things as affordable as possible. Randall Thor, what have you been playing, bud? Where can people find you?
You having me on, dealer. I appreciate it.
No problem, bro.
What have I been playing? I finished Return of Obra Dinn last night. 2 days ago.
What is that?
Whatever day it was. I really liked it. It's an indie game. It was only on PC, was made by one guy. It's got a really, really striking visual style. It's like a detective game. Ship rolls into the port, and you got to figure out how everybody died.
Got to figure out who stole all the games from Xbox.
All the games for Xbox. I'm going to be playing Call of Duty, probably starting Friday. I'm going to play that first, and then I'm going to get into the Outer Worlds. And once Outer Worlds is done, moving on to like Need for Speed Heat and Death Stranding and Star Wars, and eventually Witcher 3, which Dealer keeps on bringing up every single night. We're in party chat, even though Zalker hasn't beat the game either, and Zalker tries to ram that shit down my throat too. Pisses me off.
Even though Zalker's like at the very beginning too.
All right.
J-Mo, he says use that money you save on Game Pass to get a mug. Everybody's got to drink something. Yeah,
get the mug. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, actually just go to my YouTube channel, Randall419, and from there you can, the links to Twitter and all that stuff.
Link it in the chat.
My Twitter's got all the, the underscores and stuff in it.
Link your YouTube in the chat, Rand.
Hey, change your Twitter name. Make it the Dark Randall Thor.
Dark Randall Thor.
Baby mouth Rand.
We're all like limping offset here. We're like, ass cheeks are asleep. Hey, Zalker, man, what have you been playing? Where can people find you?
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I've been playing Uncharted like the chapter 17 or 18. Game's fucking
Nice.
awesome and
Been
enjoying
playing
the hell
Apex,
out of
that's
it. And I've been playing Apex, something that Fonzarelli could never dream of playing as good as me. You know, I die with class.
Your pinky's out when you're dying.
Class as well.
And I played the new update to Sea of Thieves, Fort of the Damned. I played that all day Saturday. It was fucking awesome. Pretty cool. Nice little thing. I like it. I like the game. I play it every update. So fuck it. And yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Zalker87, YouTube Zalker87, always putting out videos, you know. And on Mixer, Zalker87, same thing. Stream every now and then, aka pretty much 3 to 4 times a week. And thanks for having me on, Dealer. Had a great time on Colt's show. It was fun.
Check Zalker out. Dime of class with his pinky out. Rumple Foreskin, thanks for the RDX plus creepy emojis combination. Do appreciate it. And shout out to Obi-Wan, Lethal, Whelmy Hood, all the moderators who showed up to do work and curb stomp on the rare occasions they have to. And Brian Harris, I get what you're saying, Brian Harris, and I definitely agree. We don't necessarily have to count on this crazy, insane level of performance. I mean, it's going to be a remarkable experience, brother, so I'm with you. But I have been playing Grid 100% of that game. Don't ask me why. So I did every single race in the game, waiting for Outer Worlds. That's Thursday. Call of Duty, that's Thursday. By the way, Call of Duty does come out before Outer Worlds, right? So what is that, Ram? What time is that, Call of Duty?
Call of Duty, 8 o'clock Central, Thursday, Outer Worlds, 11.
So it comes out several hours before Outer Worlds. So I'll probably be playing Call of Duty, and then I'll jump into Outer Worlds at midnight Eastern. So yeah, we've been playing that, and man, what else? Obviously, I wanted to do some Arkham footage randomly. Yes, it's me playing, not my niece. Thanks, JMO. And again, shout out to all of you guys who rock with us. You power the show. You make it the biggest Xbox podcast on all of YouTube, and that's pretty insane. Think about that. So
the planet.
We've come.
Shout out to
come a long
Mike
way.
Ibarra too.
Shout out to Mike Ibarra. Yeah, Mike for showing up. He did say that he wants to come on the show again. So if you didn't know, we had Mike Ibarra on the show before, and he does want to come back on at some point, I'd imagine, after he announces his new job. So for the 800 of you listen to me ramble, thank you. You are the guys that really show up and do so much for the show. Hit that like button. Check out the links down below. Support everyone on the show. We are going to get out of here because we're dying. So we'll see you guys later. We're out. No one signed out twice this time.
No, Baby Mouth ran.